And we are live. My new camera's too high to clap. Live for the first time ever on Instagram. So if people are seeing us on Instagram, welcome to the stream. And yeah, we had a week of football, guys. Honestly, some pretty lame primetime games, but there were some good ones on Sunday. The morning game was pretty good, honestly, if you were paying attention to it. But what were any overall thoughts on this week of football?
Pats another win. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway for the past 8 weeks, in my opinion. But no, you're right. I mean, the primetime games didn't really, catch anybody's eye. But Sunday, I thought it overall was a good day of football. A lot of close games, a lot of late finishes, buzzer beaters, if you want to call them that in football. But I don't feel like it was a great week for us overall. But I mean, we're still battling and still have, a little more than a quarter left of the season.
So, Matt, we haven't seen you since week 5. Welcome back to the show. Anything you need to get off your chest before we get into this past week and future week?
No, I can't remember if I have any grudges or any spite from last time, but I think I'm all good. I think the NFL has been pretty good the past 2 weeks. I think I've had fun watching it. I think maybe 2 weeks ago it was pretty bad, like week 9 was kind of bad, but I think the last 2 weeks have been a lot of fun. Had some good matchups last week. Enjoyed it.
All right.
But thank you for having me on. Where's Mikey, if I may ask?
We don't know. He said he'd be unavailable.
MIA. Yeah. Watching the Knicks probably, for all the fuck we know.
Knicks might have a back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah.
All right. We have to go to a segment that usually takes place later. The DOUF boys. Big Country, are you there?
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up?
What up, Tendy?
Happy Wednesday evening.
Happy Wednesday, boys. I can almost guarantee that Mikey's watching the next game. What a scumbag. I mean, this is as good as it gets on a Wednesday night, and he's turning it over for a shitty non-compete NBA slate. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I gave him even the alternatives, which I don't like to go off schedule. I said we can do yesterday night or Thursday. It was all no go. So the Knicks do play tonight at 9:30, so that's a little interesting, but we'll have to keep an eye on that.
We know where his heart lies.
Maybe he's preparing for the game. I don't know what he does. I mean, the Knicks fan, it's not the weirdest thing about him, but it's a pretty weird thing. So, we'll give it to him, I guess.
Can't really trust New York fans. So
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of gross you call him a New York fan because, I mean, he grew up in Rhode Island. He roots for the Red Sox. He roots for the Patriots. He's a New York fan. He's a Jets fan like his brother.
Yeah. Well, at least Mikey admits that he's a Jets fan, unlike Mark.
Yeah, true. He buys into it.
So my Gay for May shirt came in, and Mark dapped me up, said, "Oh, that's so sick! I love our shirt that came in. I mean, it's not cool. He's officially. I think he thinks he's a Patriots fan now, and
well, he was a Lions fan last week, and then he.
What a surprise! Bandwagon Central.
He's a scumbag. I mean,
yeah, Colts are the best team. I don't know. It's all over the place with him. All right. Well, I know you got to get out here, so we can kind of go a little bit faster through this, but we have some big developing news in the DOUF where last week. I
don't. Cam, shut your mouth. Stop your.
I didn't say anything.
You know what? The boys have one off week, and it's good. It's good for the brand. It's good for the content. That's why we're here.
It is. There's a lot.
We took advantage of it. Yeah. Great bounce back week, Dub. Love it.
I mean, yeah, I can't really talk because I went 1-3, but 0-4. Are you kidding me?
That is the first time that's happened this season, I think, from anyone.
Yeah. And he said he saw the board. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He went in too confident after that Lions win.
I off the bat said I don't like the board here. I was just, but whatever. It happens. I'm still, he's my guy, I guess.
I guess.
my fellow Patriots fan.
Yeah, he's joined the bandwagon. You might have to kick him off. All right, well, so here's where we stand. So last week, Cam put in an impressive 3-1 performance. I was 1-2-1, so our first push of the year I had on the DOUF. Tendy, you were 1-3. Down week, but we've all had 1 or 3.
It happens.
Yeah, and then Mark with the donut hole, and all of a sudden he's not to come on.
Donut hole. He doesn't show up for the pod. Like I don't know.
It's all good.
1-7 on your side. Holy fuck, that's tough.
So that brings us to Tendy 20-16. Mikey's still 10-6. Cam, you're up to 10-10. Mark's 16-20. I'm 15-20-1. So
Though
it's
someone's carrying their weight down here at least,
yeah,
Fair.
it's a tough world out there. So on the year, you guys, Team Florida, exactly perfect, 36 and 36. Team Dubcast, we're 1 game behind. It's because of the push, 35, 36 and 1. So
I guess
Good
this week
race.
we'll do it, and then I'll show him what picks you guys have and what I have, and he'll have to scrunch from the
Oh,
scraps.
he
I'm
didn't even
assuming
give you his picks?
didn't get the picks.
All
Didn't
right,
get the
yeah,
picks.
he gets last in order because he
Yeah.
he's the worst
Yeah,
racer.
it's only fair. I mean, there's
He's not
accountability.
dedicated to the pod. That's on him.
Well,
It is
I also
on.
texted and gave you guys like 12 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I know that's on me. I did see it early in the day, and I completely forgot to respond. But I'm here now, so it's
Yeah, we'll send him
Love
a little recap. All right, so let's start with the dog. Tandy, you have the most wins on the board, so start us with your dog for this week.
I think this should be easy. It's also betting with my heart a little bit because I want the Chiefs to lose, but Colts +3. I really like it. I think that this will put the Chiefs below 500, which is good for the world. Not the Swifties. Sorry to the Swifties.
Fuck the Swifties. They don't listen to this.
Well, now they won't, Cam. Now they won't. Come on,
Good.
man.
Can't fraction off our audience like that.
Sorry about it. Not our target audience.
They're very knowledgeable on ball.
Exactly.
All right, Cam, what do you got for the dog? We didn't.
All right. I like
Stream Huddle, so this might go.
I like Tendy's mindset there. That was going to be my backup because I thought this was my favorite one, and I'm going with the Falcons +1.5. I know Penix is out.
No quarterback,
but-
huh?
Yeah, I'm so confident in that team just with the talent on that roster compared to New Orleans. I don't care where the game's played. I think Atlanta is the wrong team. Not favored in this one, so I'm going to take the Falcons +1.5 here for my dog.
I actually do like that. New Orleans is so bad. I feel you
Yeah.
gotta feel. It's honestly kind of messed up that you're gonna go against the Swifties and against New Orleans. Like you gotta feel bad for them.
Yeah, I know it's tough, but hey, we know ball on this podcast, so.
Yeah, it's true. We do know ball.
All right, well, I'm left here as the worst one so far, but I'm going with the Bucks +6.5 against the Rams. Rams, have been one of the best teams in the league, but Sunday night, things get tight, and the Bucks kind of need wins where they've lost to the Pats, lost to the
The
Bills.
Bucks are throwing haymakers this week. I mean, they have to win.
Yeah, they have to win, and I think they slowly get healthy. I don't know the Bucky Irving status, but we'll take the Bucks +6.5. Hope it's a close game. Now with the over, Tandy, we're back to you. What do you think?
I like half of the pick of this. The other half they have to pull their weight, but Seahawks Titans over 40. I don't love it, but it's one of those. It's one of those games where, like, I don't know. It's a low number. One of them puts up. If the Titans can score 2 touchdowns, I think we got it.
Okay.
All right. Cam?
So I'm thinking, I wish this was, middle of the day Sunday as opposed to Sunday primetime, but I'm taking the over the Bucks Rams game. Both offenses, obviously pretty explosive, even though Tampa Bay is still banged up. 49.5 is what I have it at. Hopefully, I think maybe after a doozy of a Sunday night with the Eagles and the Lions, maybe we get a little bit more of an entertaining, high-flying game in this one. And I like both of these offenses, so 49.5 seems a little too low for me. I'm taking the over in that game.
Cam, Mark would never admit this, but I did like your pick there. I did like that.
Perfect. All right.
No, Mark just likes when we say the pick and then don't give any explanation why. Well, I had that one on my board too, Cam. I'm between 2 right now. I'm gonna go with the Giants and the Lions over 50.5. It's a high number.
Jesus.
Is Jameis playing?
I don't
for the
know.
Giants again this
I
weekend?
don't think it matters though, because Dart's a scoring machine himself. He'll run in 2 or 3 feet.
I think the Lions could do this themselves.
Yeah, it's also
They're
Lions get back
against the Giants.
from 2 weeks.
Off a loss.
Yeah, 50.5. It's a high number, but I don't know. I think the Giants, even when in blowout, they do score some points. And if it's Jameis, we're hitting that instantly. So I like that for the over. We're back to you, Tandy, for the under.
So I think this is the easiest pick of all time, but also terrifies me because Shadur might be really good. But Browns Raiders under 36.
Another low number on the board.
It's a very low number, but I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, I can't take that over. That was what I said. I said I can't take this over, so you got to take the under.
All right. Cam,
I mean,
That's tough.
it's a
Yeah.
question mark. Shadur might be really good at football. He looked not
No.
bad. I don't know if you guys talked about it at all, but he didn't look
No,
terrible.
that's I'm only reacting like that because I had the same under. So I was thinking the same thing as you, so I don't mind
Wait,
that
I
pick
want
at
to
all.
no. Colin gave me a face. I want to know what that face
Dude.
was all about.
He always
Shadur
has
was
that
like
pick.
3 for 15 and threw a pick. He was awful.
So you didn't watch the game though. That's
No,
Yeah,
he
you don't
watched the
know
game.
ball, Dub.
You watched the game. He looked
He
good.
threw a couple good balls. His receivers dropped a couple balls. I mean, he
Well,
didn't look
they're gonna still
terrible.
drop it. It's the Browns.
He looked like a good young Kyler Murray out there.
Well, don't make a short joke. I mean, he's not that short. I mean, it's all right.
All right, get your watches out, everybody. Perfect time. Well, you're taking the under. So what is the?
I am. No, I am. I just,
Shadur?
you know what? You're right, Colin. That was a great. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you.
All right.
Cam, we're to you. You look a little confused on what you want to do here.
I have 2 options. Can I consult with you really quickly and help you make my pick or no?
I would allow it.
All right, what are we thinking here?
All right, I'm thinking about either flipping and trying to get a switch on Tendy and doing the under of the Seattle Tennessee game, or I also like the under in the Jags Cardinals game at 47.5.
Well, that was on my board to be an over. That one's
All right, well I'll do the switch. You do the Jags.
Yeah,
Cardinals.
yeah. Come on.
I was going to take the over on Jags Cardinals. I'm saying.
Oh, you were?
That could be a high scoring game because the Cardinals always put up points.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're going for big swings here. We're
There we
trying
go,
to take the lead
baby.
over the DOUF boys.
It's
We're taking
basically
the
back
under.
to week 1. We're one push behind. That's
Yep.
a good idea. You know, fuck
Let's
you.
take. I'm taking the under of Seattle and Tennessee of 40.5.
All right. Well, for me, I was looking at this Eagles-Cowboys thing, but I don't want to tempt fate and trust the Cowboys to not put up a million points. So I'm going to go with the Steelers and the Bears under 45.5. The Bears have not scored a lot of points recently. They have been winning, yes, but the Steelers may be starting Mason Rudolph at quarterback, and that's enough for me to say easy under there. 45.5. I think this could be a grinded out game under 45.5. Last segment. Tendy, back to your favorite of this week.
I'm gonna do it. I got my Gay for May shirt in this week. I'm taking the Pats -7 against the Bengals. Let's get to 10-2 easy. There's nothing else to say. Gay for May. I want.
Are you a little bit concerned with the news that dropped today? Joe Burrow might be back.
No, not at all. He hasn't played for the team for a month.
What news are you talking about, Dubby?
I have not.
He's back in practice, full participant today.
He might.
Yeah.
That honestly makes me more excited about this pick because like he's not going to come back and the team's played with 3 quarterbacks in 5 weeks here. Like, what are we doing? Just
that game is. We'll get to it when we cover it, but there's a lot of red tape around that one. All right, Cam, what do you think for your favorite?
I actually am super glad I picked Seattle, Tennessee for my under because I'm also going with Jags -3 as my favorite. So obviously we try and do different games for each one. I love the Jags in this spot. I am notoriously anti-Cardinals. They're on the ban list along with Tennessee. So give me the Jags -3 in this spot.
Cam, was it you or Colin that when I said I'm going to take the Chargers because the Jags always fuck me, you said other way around? You saw how it worked for me this week. They got their shit stuffed. So
I said that.
Yeah, I also don't know a person named Colin, so I don't know who you're talking about. This is called the Dubcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Dub. That's my apology. I'll never do it again.
It's fine. You know, no governments usually, but
the Dub. I was going back to the basement Madden days. You know, back in 2006, probably.
No, we're OGs. We're unks.
I don't know. Yeah, we go way back. Cam, we go way back. I don't know what you're talking about here. I mean, this is
all right. Fair enough.
All right. Well, I love the Jags pick. I did put one on here, but I think that might be a little bit of a rat line. This other one, I took the over in that game, so I'm gonna go with the last pick on my board. Bills -6 tomorrow night. It's ugly. It's Thursday night, but they're rolling now, and against Davis Mills, fuck it. That's a product.
I like our pick, Stubby.
That's a really good pick. That's a really good pick.
Texans,
also, I think we should talk about a possible punishment and or reward for the Dubcast because right now it's kind of a bullshit thing where one of us comes to Florida, and right now it's even. You know, I think maybe Mark's not here. Maybe next week we should brainstorm and have a couple ideas.
Well, if you guys win, you're getting on the Instagram. I thought that's what you wanted, and then we were trying to figure out.
I mean, we'll get on the Instagram.
No, I agree. I feel like that could be an
else.
off-air conversation because some explicitives might be said. So
I mean, I don't swear, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
Well, mainly from my
there's a text
perspective.
chat we
but-
can get in there. We'll do
right,
that
well,
tonight. Let's
right.
figure that out before the picks turn to rotten.
Agreed.
Somebody's
Agreed.
winning.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like,
Figure
that's
it
what
out
I'm
before
saying.
sounds
Sunday.
good, gentlemen. All right, I
All right.
like that. We'll figure something good out.
Mark
mean,
usually likes
Ammon's-
to rant on anything. Is there any futures, anything you're looking at to?
I haven't heard much from him, but I will say shout out to the Hard Rock for allowing slot machines in Florida. I have made a lot of money in the past 2 weeks playing slots at work,
Nice.
and it's awesome. I mean, it's beginning bad because I've gone
You're
over
getting
the
paid
cost.
to win money. That's electric.
Yeah,
I'm
double
just getting
earning.
paid to yeah. That's the problem. I've lost some money, but I'm up substantially since it began, and my bets are getting higher and higher on the slots, which is scary. Because that's how that's the game you got to play. But shout out to Hard Rocks, out to Seminoles. God bless.
Getting it done in Florida. All right.
But yeah, I mean, I know it's a bummer we didn't see each other. What was that last 2 weeks ago in Tampa? And I know the StubHub ruined your chances at a free beer.
Yeah, I know. That was
Also,
on me.
Cam-
We'll figure it out based off the Dubcast punishment. I'm sure we'll catch up
I
here
want to throw
soon
this up. I
enough.
don't know if you know this, but that was a $20 beer you missed out on. That's what they were charging inside the Tampa Bay Stadium. $20.
Yeah, I'm not
beer.
surprised. Yeah. Thankfully, I enjoyed the game at the local Miller's. Nice little quarter-mile walk from the stadium.
Did you get did you get the Big Red sandwich, or what'd you get?
No, I got way too much booze. Probably had 2 Long Island iced teas, 2 margaritas, 5 beers, all on Rob's tab. So thank
That's
you, Rob.
awesome. Yeah,
shout out to Rob if you're
shout out,
listening
Rob.
now.
Shout out, Rob.
Rob Father.
Exactly.
Father. All right, gentlemen. We'll have a great rest of the pod. Thanks for having me on. Mark's a scumbag. Mikey's might be a scumbag too. I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
The
they're
Hallorans in general.
they may be doing it. Yeah, the Hallorans. Bad week for the Hallorans.
Yeah, not a good look for the Dubcast on that.
All
But
right.
All right, you guys are going to pick them up though. I mean, it's still going to be a fine look for the Dubcast. We know what you boys have in your bag, and we'll be all right.
All right.
all right. Sounds good.
Appreciate you, brother. We'll talk
Yeah.
next
So yeah,
See you, Sandy.
send the picks. Mark will pick from there, and we'll pick a reward and a punishment for the boys.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm with it.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great night.
All right.
Adios.
Peace out. All right. A little bit disorganized in the segments, but who cares? We're back.
Okay.
So, as usual, we'll go back to where we were heading into this week. We had week 11. The picks were not great, as you kind of alluded to. I was the leader, 7-7-1. You guys, Mikey, and well, not you guys, you, Cam, and Michael, both were 6-8-1 on the week.
I think it's my first losing week. If I
We'll have to. We can circle back on that one, but there's been some tough weeks. So here's the more. I feel like every segment on this cast now, there's a lot of drama because for the spreads, we do still have you at 6-8, so there's a little bit of a chance for redemption here to get yourself in the positive. Actually, I didn't even write down the percents. I'll have to come back on that next week. Michael is under 500, 72-76-1, and we have a tie in first place at 90-73-1 between me and Cam. So.
Yep.
It's gonna be intense on what happens here. We'll have to see who can take the lead. Obviously, Cam, you won last year, so maybe it's my turn. But
we'll see. Down to the wire, I'm hoping. A little entertaining segment for the
playoffs will count. So this could come down to the last Super Bowl pick, and we could. We'll have to maybe if we get really close, we'll have to come up with a tiebreaker. But all right, let's get back to week 11. Before we had a comment when Tendy was on stage with us. This is quite the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I think we need more diversity in the Dubcast. We could get some more people calling in.
Great, it's a very diverse group we have.
Yeah, I know, right? I was just thinking the same thing.
Not in that way, but like different people from different.
Okay.
That was 4 different states on the line right there: North Carolina, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and then Florida. So there you go. We'll start with Thursday Night Football. Our hometown team, the Patriots, beat the Jets. Honestly, this was not the most entertaining game for me. It kind of went exactly as I'd expect. Jets get the first early touchdown. We get the text from Michael.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to be
talking shit. Yeah.
And then all he talks about after the game is how Brees Hall got 50 yards. But we start with you, Cam. You've been hyped on the Patriots train. Well, middle Cam. We'll start with you. What do you think about this game, Patriots Jets, and just how you expected it to go?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same mindset as you. This was kind of chalked up, I feel like, in all of our minds. Like, sure, it might be a letdown spot, but this team just feels like a little bit of a different team. Jets trade away two of their best players on the defensive side of the ball. Um, and Thursday night at home, first primetime game for Drake in Foxborough. Not the, most outstanding performance, but I mean, he's still making incredible plays, throws that legit make me say, wow, like that's our guy. Like he's making throws that I feel like one out of, the top 5 quarterbacks in the league are making right now. So kind of everything I expected. I'm very interested to see how everything goes because he's due in the past 2 weeks. He's done this without Booty, which I feel like he's been one of the most unsung heroes on this roster throughout the beginning of the season. So hoping that maybe whenever he comes back, we can take that next leap. Obviously going to the playoffs, but I mean, Drake looked good. It's like we talked about last week. The running back depth is a little, scary for me, at least long term. Hopefully, Ramondre can come back, but Trayvon's also looked pretty well. But I just don't want to, overload his carries and then from there have to rely on a practice squad guy to get those secondary reps. But hey, New England won, covered the spread. I don't really give a shit about the spread, but I mean, 9-2, 8 wins in a row. I mean, can't really say much more if you're a Patriots fan.
Brad, did you have anything else
Can't say
on
much
this
more.
game? What?
I can't say much more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
That's
Trayvon's
fair.
touchdowns. All right.
I think Ramondre's coming back this week, but
Yeah, they both.
I like working Trayvon. He's young and he doesn't fumble.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
just
for
keeping
now, yeah.
Ramondre to the side,
Yeah. Even if you want to flip the roles and have Trayvon as more of your featured back and Ramondre is more of the secondary guy that gets touches, at least take a little bit of the workload off of him. But I don't know, like, if Trayvon goes down, obviously, fingers crossed it doesn't happen, but then you're really in the fucking shitter and you have Dearness Johnson fucking as your RB1, which is
Yeah,
really
but
scary to think about.
is this really like can you just sign like Jamal Williams and like LeGarrette Blount and like somebody else and just have like a 4-headed attack that's like all mid guys and be fine?
Well, Garrett Blount, I'm pretty sure is like
Run,
55 years old, but no, I mean, I you would think that, but it's also not Madden. Like this guy doesn't know the playbook. If you pick someone off the street, and if they were to do something like that, I would have wished they did that when Ramondre went down in the first place, as opposed to doing it while you're maybe thinking if Trayvon gets hurt now. It's possible, but if they haven't done it yet, it doesn't seem likely that they're going to do it.
Listen, I saw Baker Mayfield get cut, play a Thursday night game with a completely new playbook and a completely dog shit team and win a game in LA. So I think it's possible, especially with a running back when it's like take the ball on the right and run forward. But, I do agree with you. It's a little bit concerning, especially since Trayvon doesn't seem like he's the type to get like 20, 25 carries a game or touches even. But
yeah.
We'll have to see that moving forward. I did see Ramondre and Booty both supposed to practice this week, but we can get into that with this next upcoming game. We had a Sunday morning game. This was a tough one to watch for me as a Mariota supporter, and also thought this would be an underdog spot. I was wrong, very wrong, as I misled some people, and I feel bad about that one. But Rat, you were up early watching this Sunday morning game. What did you think of the result here?
I was. Me and Colin actually had a little chat going on during the game, and I blew up because I had the Dolphins. I blew up when they didn't kick a field goal when there was a minute and a half left, and they had the 4th down at the goal line. The game was tied. I blew up, and Dub said, "That's why you have to listen to an NFL savant like me." And then the Dolphins go
immediately losing overtime.
First play of overtime pick, but yeah, watching that game, I was like, fire McDaniels right now. It doesn't make any sense. They have no timeouts. There's a minute left, and you can kick a field goal to go up, and like no one's scoring. That was crazy to me. I think after they win, still fire him. I think this team has no aspirations, and there's no point.
So
both teams.
You're not one.
Don't bring Jaden Daniels back too.
Yeah, well, I don't think
Mariota
at this point. You're not one of the believers that the Dolphins can go on a stretch run here and rip off a bunch of wins in a row and potentially make the playoffs. I think their schedule is like light work.
Yeah, but those are the Dolphins. Let's take it easy.
I mean, the Dolphins aren't the worst franchise in the world.
That was one of the worst.
They're up there.
it was very entertaining. I also have in our reverse kicker, we have a reverse kickers league. I have Matt Gay, who's been just an absolute workhorse for me, missing all year, but he unfortunately got cut this week. So I'm gonna have
Damn.
Yeah, the brutality of the reverse kicker league.
Yeah.
So here's the Dolphins' next couple of games. They're on a bye week right now. Saints, Jets, Steelers, Bengals. Okay, this isn't. Never mind. They're shit.
Never mind. Cut it.
So I wasn't even going to turn on this game until Rat texted, and then I turned it on, and I saw Mariota unfortunately throw the pick. And first play of overtime, just a terrible ball, and they did the little pan to him on the sideline. I will say, with the investigations going on, FBI lately, he looked like somebody who might have been a little bit influenced to do something there. But
Whoa.
I don't know. It had that look, like just the stiff look. I don't want to throw accusations, but I maybe would look into that, and we'll have to see. I think the Commanders are on bye this week, but we'll have to see about that moving forward. All right, ahead to the 1 p.m. games. The Bills. This was the Josh Allen game, 6 touchdowns. Electric week from him. Kind of put himself back into the MVP conversation. I know Cam all picked the Bucs to cover here, and this kind of got out of hand late for the Bills. So we'll start with you. What do you think about the Bills here? Are they a threat to the Patriots in the AFC East? Obviously they are, but
I mean, I always thought that they were, never mind this win off of Tampa, but also like this was an electric game back and forth. I think there was 9 lead changes in the game or something like that. And I don't think the score accurately reflects on throughout the game how close it was. The Bucs were fighting just like we predicted, but obviously, like you said, Buffalo pulled away towards the end. Josh Allen had a career game with 6 touchdowns, but you also see these dumbass mistakes that he hasn't made in a couple years, but he made some like rookie mistakes that he would just like, I don't know if you saw, but like on his first drive, he basically 2-hand shuffle pass something to the lineman and on his own 20 or something like that. It was like those mistakes, I feel like are going to bite them in the ass at some point if he tries to play superhero ball for the remainder of the year, especially when it comes down. Maybe he tones it down a little bit when it gets later in the season and then the playoffs as well. But I don't know, like the way the Pats have been playing, we've talked about it. The schedule is obviously favorable, but they're beating up on teams that they should be. And when they played the Bills on the road, they took care of business. So I obviously think that they're a problem, and it's mainly because of Josh Allen. But at the same time, I feel like there's weaknesses in their game, especially their run defense, that not necessarily the Patriots could take advantage of, but just teams across the league in general could. So not really too much to add, like on both teams. I like both of them against the spread for the remainder of the year. Obviously, you just wish Tampa could be fully healthy to be able to, get an accurate read of what they're going to be. But yeah, I mean, I like both teams moving forward.
Yeah, pretty much same. Rad, do you have anything else you want to add on this one?
Yeah, I actually had the Bills in this game. Yeah, like Kim says, a lot closer than it looked. I think the Bucs were actually winning in the fourth quarter, if not the fourth, then like the end of the third. But really, what this came down to, there was like a bad pick that Baker had in the fourth quarter that just kind of ended the game. I think the Bucs are still a better team. I don't think the Bills are that good this year. This was like Josh Allen played great. They had a pick. The Bucs defense kind of sucks. Bills are like not a team that I'm concerned about until playoff time when Josh Allen can do this whenever. But I think overall, like they're not the Bills like they have been.
Fair.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying, Cam, about like the rookie, like almost rookie mistakes, was that came out a lot 2 weeks ago when they played against the Bills and just got slaughtered there. So something to watch moving forward. It's kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of in flux for me. Like we need to see what version of Josh Allen we're truly going to get before I can make a proper evaluation. But I guess it's already week 12, so I don't know how much more time there is. Next game was the Titans covering the spread for like the third or second or third time this season. I don't think this game was on Red Zone a lot. They might have just really boycotted this game, so I didn't see a lot of this game. I don't know. Rad, we can start with you if you had any thoughts on this brilliant game between the Texans and the Titans.
Didn't watch a second of it. That score looks right.
Good for you. Yeah. No, this was more nerve-wracking because this was my Survivor pick. Cam, I don't know if you've been following, but I'm one of 3 left in Survivor. Had Houston as my pick, and obviously came down to the wire last second field goal. Don't really give a shit if I lost this game against the spread. Thankfully, Houston ended up pulling it out. that's perfect with me. Tennessee's still on the ban list. Houston was playing with their backup quarterback on the road in a divisional matchup. Obviously didn't look great, but Tennessee belongs in the CFL. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Do they have 1 win or 2 wins? They have 1, right?
They have 1.
So they're on track for the first pick again. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't really have much to add.
What was the over-under you guys had them at for wins again?
I think it was 2.5.
Oh, okay. Bro, it was definitely 6.5 at least, but
Hey, they can still get there. There's 6 weeks
yeah,
left.
Seattle coming up. Yep, that's a favorable matchup.
Letdown spot. All right. We had our first push of the season. The Packers and the Giants. 7 was the final number we had in the Dubcast, and they win by 7. Little weird of a game here where Jordan Love goes out, Malik Willis ball game. I think for me, I'm kind of losing my hopes in my Super Bowl prediction for the Packers, and it's tough because they do end up winning most of these games, but then they just have complete stinkers where it seems like every game, no matter who they play, they're just either playing up to their competition, playing down to their competition. Even against Eagles, like they had the chance, or like 2 or 3 chances right at the end of that game to beat them into like a 10-7 shitty game. So I don't know. It's like I think in order for them to do well, it's like Jordan Love's got to get hot in like week 15, and he's got to play crazy football from week 15 to week 18, and then just ball out in the playoffs. That's really how they're going to do this. It's going to come down to him. Josh Jacobs is hurt. Manuel Wilson was like the number 1 pickup in fantasy for everyone. Christian Watson is part of the mix now. It's like I don't know what's going on with the offense. It's tough, but the defense has seemingly played like somewhat well, and the Giants. Jameis Winston, new quarterback, changed and boosted to cover. Well, they did technically cover it as a push, but I don't know. I'm kind of a little worried about the Packers, man, because I want them to win, but I don't know. And then the Giants have nothing to play for right now, and they're covering in spots. I think they're an interesting team to watch in these kind of meaningless games moving forward. Like they do have a team to me that speaks out as having fight, but I don't know if you guys have any additional thoughts on this one. Cam, we can go to you, but
yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, we've talked about it for the past few weeks where Green Bay is the definition of playing their competition. But also like winning these types of games are what playoff / Super Bowl contending teams are doing. So, I mean, we've talked about the Eagles ad nauseum, like obviously not playing to their full potential, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But it doesn't really matter when you're finding a way to win. And Green Bay found a way to win on the road. With a new quarterback coming in too for Jameis, and obviously your starting quarterback and running back get hurt. I think that's a huge boost in team morale moving forward. The Jacobs injury, I don't know fully on how long he might be out for. I don't know if you have that information, Dub, but
he's probably not going to be back this week, but will definitely be next week.
Yeah, I mean, Jacobs has been extremely successful there since he moved over from the Raiders, but I don't know. Like, I honestly, in this spot, I feel like that's a good win for the Packers. I know they didn't, it was a push. They didn't cover the spread, but, a little bit weird environment going to the Giants. Like we said, they play the competition. You got the electric Jameis Winston at quarterback. They find a way to win, move on to the next week and go from there. But like I said, a win's a win in this league, so I wouldn't be too nervous about UW. I obviously maybe a little bit cause for concern, but I mean,
they're also falling behind the division or the Bears.
Yeah, I was just going to say the divisional race might be more of the reason as opposed to how they looked against the Giants. But I mean, yeah, a win on the road with a backup quarterback for a quarter and a half. I mean, I think that's a pretty decent win.
Rat?
No, I disagree. I think if you watch that game, I only saw the second half of the game, but Jameis dismantled that defense. They had two turnovers, probably both in the red zone. Maybe one was a little bit outside the red zone, but definitely in the Packers area. Every single drive, it was just like Jameis was doing whatever he wanted. It was like 3rd and 5, no problem, first down. 3rd and 5, no problem, first down. And
that's Jameis Winston football. Jameis is electric.
Yeah, but if Jameis Winston football doesn't if they don't go for it on a weird 4th and 3 and turn the ball over and then have a classic Jameis pick, they're winning this game 34-20. They were winning
that's
in
the part of
also.
Jameis Winston football. That's the thing. You got to go for it.
I guess so. And I'm not arguing with that, but I'm saying the Packers,
Yeah, no, I get you.
I think their defense is a little bit overhyped, and I don't have any expectations for them going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if they miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs.
They have Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. They could lose any of those games.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, well, they fucked up. They should beat the Browns. They should beat the Panthers. It's like now you're playing with house money. So that's what I'm saying. Like Jordan Love has to get hot in the last couple of weeks in order for this to work. But we'll see. Speaking of the NFC North, we had this one: the Bears over the Vikings. Another one that was like I don't know if you had any big takeaways in this one. I think you were a supporter of JJ McCarthy at one point or another. I don't know if you're still on that train, but.
No, I was never a supporter of JJ McCarthy. I was so confused why Sam Darnold came back. I did actually support him this game. I had Vikings money line for some reason, just because that was a rat line. JJ McCarthy played so bad. The fact that they were winning in this game at the end of the game is bananas to me. He played so bad. I think they had a pick six, like maybe a huge kick return. But I don't know what to say. I think both these teams are frauds. I think the Bears got a kick return into a win against a horrible team who played bad. That's pretty much all I have to say about this game.
Yeah, I think I remember that little kick return. I don't know, Cam, if you had any additional thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Cam on this one. I mean, both these teams, I feel you've been, up on the Chargers, but especially Chicago, I feel like their record's a little bit more inflated than what you think of them as a football team. And I'm not a huge fan of Caleb Williams, but he's continuing to find ways to win. A divisional game on the road. Thankfully, I picked the Bears in this one, but overall, I'm not extremely confident in the Bears moving forward. And then Minnesota, like Cam said, JJ's instilling a lot of confidence on that offensive side of the ball. Justin Jefferson looks a little frustrated, obviously not playing up to the season that he's been having since he's entered the league. So going to be interesting to see what they do for the rest of the year and then potentially in the offseason. I assume they're going to, like Dub said, you got to give the rookie quarterbacks or quarterbacks that haven't started a little bit of time to develop, but definitely missing throws that NFL quarterbacks typically don't miss. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not much else to take away. These teams are definitely, kind of ease on the side of caution when you're betting on them.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. Why didn't they just like Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy, or like you said him for like 4 years, and then just let him come in when like either Darnold gets hurt or Darnold has to leave house? Like, why let Darnold go like that? I don't know. That was odd. And yeah, it's like last year they were like the 5 seed, were playing for a division title, and the 1 seed on Sunday Night Football, and now they're probably definitely gonna miss the playoffs. And you're basically going through like a rookie year quarterback with a second year quarterback, and it's like, where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love how you always have to throw in that you don't like Caleb Williams just because he paints his nails. But I don't know. This is so weird to me that the Bears kind of have like this weird voodoo of just winning over and over again. Like I feel like every game they win by like 2 to 4 points. It's crazy. I don't know if that'll ever run out or what will happen, but I'm sure it'll end poorly because it is the Bears. But we'll move on. Another divisional matchup, this time on the AFC side. The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, big story from this one was the wrist injury, but they dismantled the Bengals. Jamar Chase is suspended. There are rumors of Joe Burrow coming back. We'll talk about that more with the Patriots game and that matchup coming up. But, I mean, I don't really know what there is to take away from this game other than the Bengals are just kind of done. Like, I was looking at their schedule. They're 3-7, and they have no really, like, easy games. I don't even know if Burrow should come back. This team is just it's been an unfortunate watch since they made the Super Bowl, where it's like every year they start slow, and then I don't know, you got 40-year-old Joe Flacco, and I guess he's hurt now. I don't really know what's going on, so didn't really have much takeaways from this game specifically. More just worried about the Bengals in the future, and I don't know, it just didn't really tell me a ton about the Steelers. Just I feel like I should have seen this one coming, where Bengals had that crazy Thursday night win, and then Steelers just come in and stomp on them. But if either of you guys had any big takeaways from this one.
I think the biggest is the biggest one's probably just Jamar being ejected or being suspended next week, honestly. But have no faith in the Steelers moving forward when it comes to gambling as a spread, since he, like you said, might be kind of dead. Is there even a point of bringing Joe back at this point? But like I said, that's a huge upgrade for the Patriots next week. But like you said, we can get more into detail on that in the next segment. But nothing else other than that.
Yeah, like comparing the Ravens, like at least they have a chance. They're like all the way up to 5-5 because they have an easy schedule, and then like now if the Bengals were to come back, they'd have to win every single game, and they need like a lot of help to get into the playoffs. So I'm not sure what the logic is on bringing Burrow back, but we'll have to see.
Exactly.
This one was a little bit surprising just because the final score was so much. I took Jags on that one, so that was a hype one. I also took Jags money line because the Chargers are just not a trustworthy team for me this season. It felt like a spot where they're building up, and then they have that one plateau where they lose. So, Cam, you can start us out. You look pretty upset about this result here.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't necessarily that I'm upset. It's just so confusing. Like that, I think in last week's spot I mentioned this is the prove it game for the Chargers, where they win this game, then I'm actually completely in on them on being somewhat of a decent player within the AFC, playoff race. But then they continue to just have these random fuck up games where they look like a completely different team than. I mean, I know that they don't have their two starting tackles, but like it's just so weird. I think they were on a 3 or 4 game winning streak going into this game. And then you let Jacksonville absolutely like even a loss would have been okay, but like getting embarrassed like that is I don't know, it's definitely put the warning signs on for me when it comes to betting on the Chargers. So it's also I don't know what this Jags team is. I feel like both these teams are kind of in the same bucket where week to week you have no idea what you're gonna get, and it's definitely dangerous to be putting money on them. Never mind money line, but just against the spread.
Yeah, well, you got to
Couldn't agree more. When I saw this matchup, I said, "Oh, the same two teams are playing each other. These are the two most schizophrenic teams. They could beat anybody. The Jaguars look horrible, and then they beat the Chiefs, and they look horrible. Chargers, same thing. Don't bet on either of these teams. They're probably both going to make the playoffs, and both lose.
Which is crazy.
Are they?
They're both in it right now.
I have Jags to win I have both these teams to win the division, so that would be nice. But they're both facing uphill battles with the
both
Broncos
of them aren't
Colts.
winning the division right now.
I know. Well, I'm saying the Broncos and the Colts are winning, and they have crazy records. The Kansas City Chiefs are the 9 seed in the AFC. That's crazy. Yeah, I think the Chiefs will still get in over at least one of these teams, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think this game was even on red zone a lot either. It was just not really much to it, and Chargers just had a complete stinker. You guys said it all. So we'll move on to one that, unfortunately for the Falcons, it's been kind of a rocky road of the season where it seems like every game they're right in it, they had the 30-point loss to this team earlier in the season. They get the win here, though, and then they lose here. Panthers look pretty good and are somehow have a positive record. And then now Penix is out for the season. It's going to be Kirk the rest of the way, who has not looked good in his spot play so far with this team. And I mean, is there something to be said for the Panthers? Are we looking at them as a legitimate playoff team, or is this kind of just a flash?
Absolutely not.
All right. Why
no,
not?
Definitely not. They're going to be middle. They're going to be middle of the road, and then find a way to not make the playoffs. Have a middle of the pack first round pick, and then find a way to blow that. I picked this game, like I said in the last week's pod. Complete gut feeling. Don't know why. Picked the Panthers with the points, and they end up winning the game outright in overtime. This Atlanta team I feel is pretty fraudulent, and I honestly think they might be better off with Kirk. I just think that Kirk obviously didn't look great, but they had a game plan with Penix and Kirk are two completely different quarterbacks. So I think Kirk was put in a tough spot. I feel like the Falcons might be like better off against the schedule later on the road. Maybe give Penix time to heal and then figure it out in the offseason. But how I feel about the lefty quarterback situation. So I don't know. Not huge on Penix, not huge on the Falcons, not huge on Carolina. It's an AFC South matchup that no one really gives a shit about. But thankfully I pulled out with the win on that one.
I disagree with like most of what you just said. I think Penix and Kirk are pretty similar. I think Kirk has looked completely terrible every time I've seen him play football this season. And I mean, I don't really care about the lefty quarterback, so you might be right on that. I don't really know, but I don't know. I don't think the Panthers are actually good, though. I think it's just funny that they have a 6-5 record. Rat, did you have any thoughts on this one, this NFC South divisional matchup?
No, not really. I didn't really watch it.
Did you have the?
I'm glad that Kirk is back. I like Kirk.
Yeah, he's like
I'm
37.
sad what they did to him last year.
So a
Did you
little
have-
hypothetical here. Do you think Mikey might be back in on Bryce Young to the Jets in the offseason after
Was
that
he ever out
performance,
on that
or is
idea?
he still out on that?
Wait, didn't Bryce have like?
He was out on it
450?
last week. Yeah, he like threw for 450. And then I'm pretty sure Mikey was dogging him last week that he didn't want his quarterback.
I think Bryce Young's probably good. I mean, like, can anyone name a Panthers receiver?
To Tyron.
Ted McMillan, but I hate Ted McMillan.
And say their entire first name correctly.
Tetwara McMillan. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what you say. Xavier Legette.
Xavier Legette,
He hasn't had-
Jalen
He hasn't
Poker.
had an offense. He hasn't had an offense, and he threw for 450 yards. He might be good, but yeah, this team, whatever.
Tommy Tremble, Madden legend right there, though.
Dude, Tommy
Caught a
Tremble had
touchdown
a
against the
legacy,
Pats, so.
like first drive against the Pats. Yeah, he was going crazy. I was at that game.
Yeah.
How about this for my prediction that I made last year that Mac Jones and Bryce Young will play in a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? We got 4 years to go. Any interest?
They have to
You
find
just
new
took half
homes.
that from me. I've been saying Mac Super Bowl MVP for the past 2 years, and you took that from me, and then you're like, "Let me add Bryce Young," and you just made it.
Whoa, so
Like,
Dub is the rat.
Yes,
No.
yes.
You
Crazy.
But he took mine and then
He's
like
a half
defamed
rat.
it. He defamed it.
It's an Alabama thing. They were both failing last year. It was a whole thing. I didn't steal anything. All my takes are original. I come up with my own takes. All
Okay.
right, enough of this one. What was supposed to be a great game was a great game. NFC West. Two of the better teams in the NFC right now. I think we've been forced to admit that the Seahawks are good, even though we haven't bought the hype train that much. Well, Mikey's been on that train more than we have. But Rat, we'll start with you. Did you catch a lot of this 4 o'clock slate here? And no? Okay.
Nope.
I just think that. Yeah, go ahead, Rat.
No, I don't really have that many thoughts. I think these are two great teams who are just like kind of in a big game, and it was close. And I don't think this says a lot about either team. I think they both could have explosive offenses and have decent defenses at least. And these like might be the two best teams in the NFL right now, who each play bad games. Anyway.
So I kind of want to agree with you especially because of the divisional matchup where, those are notoriously closer placed games or played games. But I don't know. I feel like we kind of saw Sam Darnold turn into that same Sam Darnold where he choked in the biggest spot last year. This was the biggest spot that he's had all year up to this point, and obviously threw 4 picks. Not a great look for that Seattle offense, but still throwing 4 picks and being within the game you can take into account. I was a little surprised on how underwhelming the Rams offense was. I know we talked about how both of these teams were dynamic on the offensive side of the ball, but obviously the Rams didn't put up as much points as I was expecting. But I know the line was at 2.5, and obviously they won by 2, kind of a kicker right in the balls. But I mean, I still like this Rams team. I think they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFC. Seattle still and Sam Darnold have something to prove to me until I can be confident in them, when it comes to playoff contention. But it was an entertaining game. I won't discredit that. But I like the Rams moving forward. Seattle, I'm still a little hesitant on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have the Rams as the best team in football right now. Just like kind of almost by default, but we'll have to see if they have any hiccups in the near future. Seahawks, yeah, I forgot that Darnold threw 4 picks. That was insane. He was just throwing straight gimmies, and they just would somehow get the ball back and be right in position. But I don't know. I'm not really bought into the Seahawks hype train. I think a lot of people have been saying them as like sleeper Super Bowl. I don't see that personally, especially if they're not going to win the division. But we'll have to see how that goes as well. The other 2 teams, the NFC West, played. Unfortunately for everyone here, all big Mac Jones supporters, his reign has ended for now. His watch has ended. Brock Purdy came back and lit it up. He looked pretty good, throwing to Kittle a bunch of times. This is the Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals, so I don't know how much stock you want to put into that, but kind of a soft landing spot for Purdy after missing what felt like forever weeks. Pearsall is also randomly back, so looks like the 49ers are getting healthy at the right time. big win over a division rival, and I think their schedule is really light work moving forward. So this could be a potential team to watch out for to potentially overtake the Rams. They do have the season split right now, so I don't know where the tiebreaker would be. But Cam, did you watch any of this one, and what were your kind of big takeaways? If anything,
I caught
hate the Cardinals, but
I caught a little bit. I caught a little bit of it. I mean, you were talking about Jacoby. Jacoby broke the record for the Cardinals for most
that was an
completions in this
insane
game.
Stat dump at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy, but you also the 49ers were in control throughout this entire game. It's definitely a little eye-opening seeing what Purdy did. As opposed to, obviously, Mac's been playing extremely well, and we all are Mac supporters here. But, when Purdy throws for 4 or 5 touchdowns and looks that consistent on the offense in his first week of being fully healthy. I know he came back earlier, but obviously didn't look like himself. Makes me a little bit more of the believer in Brock Purdy, and in that, it also coincides with being a believer in San Fran. I think this team, like you said, can make a late push in the end of the year, and maybe a team to watch out for moving forward. It's also difficult because I want to discredit their win because it was against a shitty, bandless team in the Cardinals. But I mean, still a divisional matchup on the road, and they dominated throughout the entire game, I feel like. So
do you think there's still any question of Purdy or Mac Jones? You think if Purdy has a bad game next week, it's Mac?
I think that got eliminated. I just think it's going to be a lot of the offseason talk when we have nothing going on in the summer of what is going to happen with Mac Jones. I don't know if a team's willing to either try and trade for him or, if for some reason San Fran just wants to cut him. I don't know why they would, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see with the Mac Jones discussion in the offseason. I obviously wanted to see him playing. I'm hoping the best for him because I know he got screwed when he was here in New England. But, I mean, I think for now it's Purdy's team, especially after the performance.
Yeah, I completely agree with Cam.
An idea we've
toyed with horrible games in a row.
An idea we've toyed with on the pod, Rat. What would be your thoughts on this? Mac to the Jets as a bridge quarterback next season.
If you're the 49ers, just send Purdy to the Jets and have a better team.
Fair.
I don't want to see Mac on the Jets. Mac's one of my favorite players. I want to have him on the Jets.
I think Mac's career would end after the Jets is the problem.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be a backup if he played. He played 3 games for the Jets, get sacked 45 times, and never play again.
Yeah.
Damn. I think Mikey was on board for that, so we'll have to try and prevent that from happening.
Speaking of quarterbacks in the Jets organization in the front office.
We did. A lot of people listen to the show, man. What do you think? Speaking of quarterbacks we like, Rat, you've been an avid Lamar Jackson fan the past couple of years. I know you didn't catch a lot of the slate, but they also were another team that lost the spread by 0.5 point, but they did pull off the win against Shedeur. And you guys told me I didn't watch ball on this one. So what were you seeing from the Browns and Shedeur specifically to make you think that they would be a decent team? And
did you watch the game? Did you watch Shedeur?
I did. He looked lost. Yeah.
He looked lost?
Yes.
I thought he had a good pocket presence and that he looked like an athlete.
What does good pocket presence mean?
I mean that he looked like Kyler Murray when someone was trying to sack him. He said, "Actually, I don't want you to." And I'm not. And he was a little scared. What did he play? Like 2 quarters?
If that, probably like 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm right now debating between inserting him or Tyrod Taylor into my fantasy lineup to QB. I think I'm going to go with him.
How desperate are you, Tyrod Taylor?
I'm not desperate. I also have Trevor Lawrence, but I don't know why. I feel like one of these guys is gonna have a good game, and I don't want to waste the opportunity.
I've been in that train, and trust me, they both won't. But I mean, for the Ravens,
I wasn't able to watch.
Yeah. I was just going to say the Ravens pick another win. There wasn't really much to this game. I mean, they didn't cover the spread. It was just a divisional matchup and lost by 0.5 point. I don't know if we need to spend too much time on it, but
yeah.
Browns can be scrappy, especially against this team. Maybe the biggest one of them all that has everyone talking is this one. The Chiefs are 5-5 I mean, I don't know. Is there trouble in paradise? Is the dynasty over? We can play all the games that they would play on us when as soon as the Pats would have a semi loss, but we never really got to this point until it was really over without Brady. But 5-5, the Chiefs are after a game-losing field goal to the Broncos. Broncos are now 9-2 and the number 1 seed in the AFC over the Patriots. What are we thinking here? I feel like we can have some hot takes. Cam, we'll start with you. Is this cause for concern?
Yeah,
or
I might. Kind of a multifaceted answer here. I'm probably gonna end it with a question, but originally going to this game, I was very intrigued on, the entire aspect of being in Denver, the Chiefs record and the Broncos record, also the Patriots record looming around your head. Originally, I was thinking, you know what? We want a home playoff win or a home playoff game as the 1 seed and a bye. Just hope for that. Let's go Chiefs. And then obviously not to go Chiefs, but I was expecting the Chiefs to win this game, obviously come up short. And now I'm kind of flipped where I'm thinking the Chiefs have a shot of not even make the fucking playoffs. So it's a little bit of a dilemma where I guess this is kind of my open-ended question to you two. Would you rather be the 1 seed and then have the Chiefs come into Foxborough, or would you rather be the 2 seed and then have to play Denver eventually on the road? That's just kind of the looming question in my mind. That's the only thing I'm caring about when I'm watching that game, but I wasn't sure if you guys had any particular opinions on that.
I think you take home field.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have 5 losses. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked at their schedule specifically, but it's like, I know they beat the Ravens, but the Ravens were kind of out of it. I don't know. I don't think this is the same Chiefs team, and I don't know if I'll be proven wrong in that. And I'll probably just still take the Chiefs in every playoff game because it's Mahomes. But like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want Mahomes coming into your building, or do you want to go on the road to play in shitty altitude and weather in January or whatever it would be?
Yeah, that's the thing with Denver is they actually have like a double home field advantage. Like not only the fans, but their stadium's in like a fucked place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really scared of Denver though. I'd much rather. I think I'm switching. I'd rather play them. If we're the 2 seed and you're telling me we win everything and then we have to go to Denver, I'd take those odds versus probably the Chiefs just coming in here and then we're like 2.5 point favorites and we just lose by like 10 somehow.
How about you, Rat?
I want the bye always, no matter what. If one scenario gives us the bye, I'm taking it. I think the option that not a lot of people are talking about, which Doug did just say, is that like Chiefs could just be bad.
True.
I think like the NFL fan base, gambling fan base, everyone's like so scared and schizophrenic. Like last Super Bowl, the amount of memes that were just like Chiefs. Like if the Chiefs won last year, this wouldn't even be. And they were 5-5 right now. Like this wouldn't even be a question. It would be like, we don't want to play the Chiefs at all ever. They lost the Super Bowl and now they kind of are bad and they kind of didn't look good, especially like their offense.
But then you also kind of bring into the fact that it was a divisional matchup on the road where it was tight and then Denver pulled out at the end. Like the same argument that we've had for several games earlier on in this slate that we just talked about. Like I understand both perspectives. Like don't get me wrong. It's just, because I genuinely don't know the answer. Like I don't even know if I have a preference between, I kind of lean towards Rat's side where, hey, you want the bye. And then maybe Denver gets knocked off and you don't even have to fucking worry about it. But I don't know. It's a little sketchy. It's just something you think about in week 12 as opposed to, week 18.
If the AFC stays where it is, like this is going to be chaotic as shit. But
yeah,
the Chiefs are going to get back in there. The Ravens are going to get back in there. So it's going to be weird to see how this matches up. Where you could have like a sleeping giant. Potentially, you could have the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens who have like ran this conference be the wild card teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's gonna be a bloodbath no matter who you play. I'm scared of all those teams equally. I think you just got to trust in your. I think I'm going back now. I'm switching back. If you want the bye week, you might as well take home field. I don't know. I'll have to see. It's week 12. I'm flipping all over the place. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But something I did notice looking at the Chiefs' schedule, they had the quote unquote home loss to the Chargers, which was in Brazil. At home, they lost the Eagles. Then on the road, they beat the Giants. And then after that, they haven't picked up another away win. They lost in Jacksonville, lost in Buffalo, now lost in Denver. At home, they did beat the Ravens. did beat the Lions and the Raiders, and Commanders. So I don't know. Maybe it's a home and away thing with them this year. I know, Arrowhead is, what do they call? I don't know. I don't know. The number one stadium. Yeah, I was going to say Burrowhead, but that makes no sense in this context. Yeah. But see, they may be a home team, and they have a home game this week, so we'll have to see if that affects our picks. But I don't know.
They need to win. How many games do they have left? 7. They need to win at least 5, probably 6.
Well, they've got the Colts, which is a tough game, and then they have the Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos at home, and then the Raiders to end out the season. So they could
5 tough games. It's 5 tough games.
Not really. I think that the Chiefs will be in the playoffs. All right, let's move.
No, though they don't have the tiebreaker over the Jags, which is huge.
Are we really trusting the Jags to run the stretch run of the season?
They don't have to. What is their record?
7-4. I don't know.
The Jags are 6-4.
A game up over the Chiefs.
2 games up. With the win.
Well, we've lost Instagram. I guess they cut it off after an hour. So we're now only on YouTube.
Welcome, YouTube chat.
0-0.
What? No, there's 2 viewers here. Don't worry. All right. So, we kind of did a lot in this game, but is there something from the Broncos' perspective? Are they finally over the wagon here, and are they someone you consider a true contender, Cam?
It's just that defense that scares me. If we're talking about quarterback to quarterback matchup, even quarterback head coach matchup, I know we talk about that a lot in a lot of these games that we're picking. I would still lean towards the Pats, but that defense is terrifying. They beat the Chiefs without their best defensive player, the defensive player of the year last year in Pat Surtain. So that's what scares me the most, is having to go on the road to Denver, having to play that defense. That's what scares me. But Bo Nix, we kind of shit on him for not being like that top level quarterback, but he makes plays when he needs to, and he puts his team in a position to win. And in the NFL, is there much more that you can ask for? So that's what scares me the most, is the fact that people are kind of sleeping on him a little bit. Maybe they might be hyped with the 9-2 record 1 seed, but you also think about when it comes down to it, they're even considering the Pats to be, almost a decent shot of them winning, even on the road against the Broncos. So I don't know. It's definitely, I feel like a more underdog mentality team with Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and I think they can play into that with that defense. That's what scares me the most.
Yeah, I gained a lot of respect from them this week, but I still would like our chances against them, and I don't think they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Right?
I think they're fraud. I think they're complete fraud. I think they're like the Vikings last year.
That actually makes a lot of sense to me. I like that comparison.
In the playoffs, they got.
I think the Colts are more like the Vikings, in my opinion, but
they both are.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling at the moment, but we'll learn a lot about the Colts this week, and then I think the Broncos have a bye week this week, so we won't see them until a couple weeks or next week. But Sunday Night Football, the Eagles stink it up again, make what should have been an exciting matchup, just pretty boring. I don't even know. Jameson Williams looked kind of good for the Lions, but kind of surprised to see the Lions drop this one. Had a money line. Thought they would pull it out. I think we were all on the Lions. At least 2 of us were on the Lions to win.
On the Lions, yeah.
To spread, I don't know. But kind of surprising. Rad, did you catch this Sunday Night Football game?
Not really. I really liked when the tush push didn't work. I thought that was really cool when they just could have punted and won, and they did a tush push to let the game still happen. No, I think the Eagles. I think this is just a weird game. I don't know what's going on with the Eagles games. They're all weird, and the Eagles win, and it's just like the Eagles versus one of the best teams, and the Eagles somehow win. And I don't know why.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know why, but I'm kind of seeing, not to the extent of the Chiefs, but like a Chiefs arc where they kind of flipped from being this offensive powerhouse last year, especially running the ball. I feel like they were just clicking on all cylinders. And now you're seeing the defense kind of take over the game and win these games against, like Cam said, some of the best teams in the entire league. And they're doing it via their defense, and their offense kind of looks like shit. And I don't know. That's what championship teams do, is they find a way to win against good competition. And their defense has proven several times week after week that they can keep it close and at least give the offense enough opportunities to score 20 points to win a game. It seems like at this point, I think they scored 17 in this one and still ended up, beating one of the best teams, but obviously, like arguably one of the most explosive offenses in the league. So I don't know. It's just a little interesting arc that I've seen. It's obvious, we talked about AJ Brown bitching and moaning, but at the same time, when you're winning games and you end up playing the Super Bowl, I don't think you really give a shit at the end of the day. But I don't know. I mean, this Philly team finds a way to win, and it's tough to bet against them. And I still don't understand the small spreads for them. I picked against them last week, but consistently they're within 4 points in almost all of their games when it comes to the live line prior to the kickoff. So that's what I find most surprising. I know they keep it close, but they find a way to win. So that's all I got to say about that.
They might be what you said, the Chiefs, were just like, we know they're going to win, but we don't really know by how much, so we're just going to make it like super low numbers just in case they like fuck around, because they've done it a couple times. But let's say a theoretical matchup right now. It's week 12. Obviously, we've got a little bit to go, but the Eagles are the 2 seed, and they're heading to the Rams, the 1 seed in the conference championship. Who do you think wins that game?
Eagles.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Eagles win that game.
I think the Rams would win. They're going to get one. Get one on them, because the Eagles beat them every playoffs. But
well, it doesn't matter. The Packers are going to be there anyway.
Yeah, right. The Packers will take one of these fuckers out. We did have one more game to talk about.
I don't want to talk about this game.
I actually watched a lot of this game because
Why?
Well, my roommate's a Raiders fan.
Okay, fair. I'm sure that went well.
Yeah, we had a very intense fantasy matchup come down to the line, but yeah, we were watching actually. I got to give a shout out to the Manning cast. It's always hype when they're just like,
bro, what?
It's hype. Guy Fieri was on there. He was doing tequila shots. It was actually mad hype. Why don't you like the Manning cast?
I actually did watch a lot of this game too, and I've been a George Pickens,
supporter.
Yeah, supporter for a while, and I think he just proved that he's like better than CeeDee Lamb and maybe like one of the best receivers in the league.
Wow.
You watched the game, Cam?
I didn't know, but I kind of agree with your take. I'm a huge anti-CeeDee Lamb guy, so I was just surprised.
I'm not even anti-CD. Just like I've always been pro Pickens. Like what he did with Russ, people were like, "Yeah, he's like the number 1 receiver." I'm like, "But it's Russ, and he's like doing well." And
yeah, no, I mean, I just
Monday,
honestly haven't heard that take before, so I was surprised that you said that, and I kind of agree with you. I didn't watch a second of this game, but I agree with you. I feel like George Pickens is I think more physically gifted, where there's a lot more opportunity for him to grow younger. But also, I feel like just that Cowboys locker room is just destined for disaster at some point. So I don't know how successful he'll be with Dallas, but I agree with you on your take.
If every game CD and Pickens get a touchdown, that's like the only way they can sustain it.
Yeah, agreed.
If they need to keep winning and have that. But yeah, Pickens was making crazy plays where he would catch, and then like he should have gotten tackled 3 times, 50 yards. That was happening all over the place. What do you think, Dub?
I don't know. I thought this kind of went as I expected. I thought the Raiders would put up a little bit of a fight just because the Cowboys have no defense. But Cam, this was a big hit for you on the DOUF, where it was, I think the total you gave was either 49.5 or 50.5 and barely went under.
Yeah, I had 50.5. Yeah, 50.5. But
Raiders, I think, are just a disgraceful watch at this point. They have no offensive line.
Yeah.
They have Genty, who should be fun, but they have no wide receivers, and then they're not giving Brock Bowers the ball. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Gino's a fossil back there, so it's just a tough watch. That's all I had in this week. We'll head to week 12. Yep. Moving right along. The weeks are going and going. This is the 2/3 mark of the season, so here we go. Starting it out on Thursday night, we have Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills coming off that big win over the Bucs. Big Josh Allen game. Heading to Houston, CJ Stroud is out, so it'll be Davis Mills on our Thursday Night Football screens. Cam as our spread leader. Well, you were winning.
Tied.
Yeah, it's tied. So you have the tiebreaker of being the leader for most of the season. Start us
All
out.
all of the season, but yeah. No, and last season too. Don't forget. But it's a weird spot on the road Thursday night, but I like the Bills here minus the points. I think they're going to start kind of finding their form going into the playoff run. I don't know that you might see the appearance on the Focus 5 as well later on, but I know the Houston defense has been, I think, the best statistically in the league so far this year, if not one of the best. But I don't know. I still have, if we're taking, that quarterback matchup between Josh Allen and Davis Mills, even though it's on the road, I'm going to take Josh Allen every single day of the week, winning by a touchdown. Give me Buffalo -6 here.
Yeah, I mean, I already gave my pick on the DOUF favorite. Gave some reasons there, but I just think this Buffalo team's everything's clicking at the right time. I feel like this, if I were to make a spread for this game, I'd make it Bills -7.5. So to see it down to 6, I like that number a lot. And the Texans do scrap. There's like a lower-ish total number on this one, so it might be a little bit dogfight-ish, but I don't know. I think the Bills can do enough to get this done and cover the 6 points. I'm never going to trust the Houston team. I know Mikey actually put them on the ban list, and with Davis Mills as the quarterback, I'm not touching them either. So I'm going to go with the Bills, keep up with the Pats in the divisional race, -6, get a big win here on Thursday night. Rat, we finished with you. Will you be taking the group ride, or are you going a different direction with Davis Mills?
No, you guys said it. I don't think it matters who's quarterback for the Texans. I think the Bills are going to get exposed.
Wow.
I think they're going to get exposed again. I think the Texans have, like you said, one of the best defenses. And, the Bills have been sloppy. They've been kind of anytime there's adversity, their offense just shuts down. And I think that.
You think Houston wins outright?
I think.
Dog.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Wow. I'm completely fine betting against them on the spread if they end up winning outright.
I think if you're going to take the Texans to win, you also have to take the under too.
True.
I mean,
agreed.
I think you do that. You just parlay them up, have fun.
Have fun.
I really don't. This is
have fun. Don't worry.
This is kind of more just a gamble. If this was at home, I would take Bills -14. But on the road, Texans good defense, Bills potential essentially for
short week.
Short week. But short week, I feel like it's probably good for offense, right?
I would say it's better for the defense.
I feel like Thursday night games have usually tended to be more
low scoring.
Yeah, but there's also been I feel like the last 2 years there's actually been an increase in scoring where we've seen some really good Thursday night games and high scoring. But I don't know. I never trust this Thursday night spot. Even though I've somehow gotten most of the picks right on Thursday night. But I don't mind the stab if you think Buffalo is a shitty, not shitty, but kind of fuck around team, which they kind of
I think they're an exposable offense, and I think the Texans can expose them.
Fair enough. They do have a good pass rush. Texans defense definitely has been good, and they've been playing some low-scoring games. So, all right, split house
there. If you're gonna bet the under. That's my official.
Under and Texans.
If you're gonna bet, but if you're gonna bet, just bet the under.
Okay. But if I'm not gonna bet, I take the Bills.
If you're not gonna bet.
If you're not gonna bet the over/under.
Yeah, if you want to crawl in a hole and be a coward and not bet, you can take the Bills and just look at me. I took the Bills. I went the safe route.
I don't think I bet. I think the only Thursday night game I ever bet on this whole season was the first game, Cowboys Eagles.
Okay.
Maybe I'm missing out some opportunities. All right, we'll move ahead to Sunday, 1 p.m. No international game this week, so we have the Giants and the Lions. I'll start this one out. I'm going with the Lions, 10.5. I wish it was 10 on the dot. 10.5 is a tough number, but I'm usually one to take the big spreads, and I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Giants. I just trust the Dan Campbell get-back spot more than I trust anything that the Giants have right now. And, no offense. They don't need to win games. They can kind of not play for draft, but if they lose, it's not that big of a deal. And especially if Jameis is starting, I can see the Lions being all over this Giants offense and maybe like a 45-10 win for the Lions. I think this could get ugly and out of hand really quick. Giants did have the firing Dable, and I guess last week almost kept it close with the Packers. Well, they were right. I remember they were right there, like I was saying. But I think the Lions, coming off a loss last week, they've been kind of inconsistent. They need wins like this. So I think they prove a point, and we've seen the Lions do in the past, especially the last couple of years. I'm taking Lions minus 10.5. Rat, what do you think?
I couldn't agree with you more. Everything you said is what I was going to say. I think they might win 60-20. But also, when I say that, like the Giants have played well, and it's just like, is this going to be a crazy Jameis game? If you're just an NFL fan and you see the Lions off of a loss, playing a bad team, a bad defense, like you just have to. It's the only thing you can do. Cam?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with you guys. We're going to do our first team ride. Detroit minus 10.5. Definition of a get right spot. Going in towards, the back half of the year, last quarter of the year, if you want to call it that. I think this is just definition of Detroit at home, pounds the Giants away, and you lose the, new head coach boost that we talked about that might not even be real anymore. With Dable being fired, and this is the second game, and Dart being banged up, most likely not playing, even that with Jameis, maybe even touchdown scorer for the Detroit Lions defense. Scatterbo obviously also hurt, so I love Detroit minus the points here. I probably would have taken it at 13.5. So when I see 10.5, I say please and thank you.
So it does look like Jackson Dart was at practice today, which is usually a good sign. Would that change your opinion at all? I don't think it would change.
No, I don't think it would change mine. But also Brock Purdy's been at practice for 6 weeks. So what are we even
Concussion
talking?
protocol is different than a fake leg injury to let Max shine.
Good point. Fair enough.
Okay, so we have some pretty big spreads to start us out. Continuing on with another one, we have a team that has been banned last year, is on Cam's ban list this year. But we'll start with Rat. What do you think here? The Seattle Seahawks coming off a loss going into Tennessee, minus 13.5. You buying the points with the Titans, or do you think the Seahawks complete a blowout here?
I'll just take the Titans. They're at home. It's 13.5 points. They're at home. I'm not going to watch a second of this game. Who cares? I'm not going to bet on it. I don't know. Cam, you go. You're frustrated.
Yeah, no, they're on the ban list. There's also, we have a breaking news update. We've upgraded our sponsorship with Four Loko, and we have a Four Loko pick of the week. And the Four Loko pick of the week is going to be Seattle minus 13.5 in this spot. Tennessee on the ban list, and Seattle coming off of a loss. Definition of a get right spot, kind of what we just talked about with the Lions. I wish it was at home, but doesn't matter. This team doesn't belong in the NFL. Give me Sam Darnold to bounce back, maybe throw for 4 tutties, and then Seattle minus 13.5. Thank you.
I thought you were about to say Seahawks minus 34.5 or minus 20.
I mean, I would take them. I honestly would take them 20.5. Not kidding.
Yeah, I don't
alternate line parlay for it's not in the Focus 5, but Detroit minus 13.5 and Seattle minus 20.5. Don't mind that at all.
All right. Well, you know me, I like to take the big spreads, but this one is not one I'm going to be willing to go. I'm taking
Finally.
No, I just think this is if the Seahawks didn't lose, if the Seahawks won last week, I would definitely take the Titans, no matter what the number is. But they're going to come in, and we've seen the Seahawks just decimate shitty teams, no matter where it's been. I mean, the Commanders they shit on, the Cardinals they shit on, and the Titans are the worst team in the NFL right now. I don't see them covering 13.5 in this game. Personally, I think this is one that we're not going to watch a second of because we might see some highlights
because the Titans are on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think the Seahawks do a good job at jumping out early, where it's like you look up and all of a sudden they're fucking 21-0, 28-0. So I think
they're a very good first half offensive team.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks minus 13.5 to go against what I usually do. Now we are to another big one, the Jets and the Ravens, same spread, this one in Baltimore. So the home team is the favorite. Cam, we start with you. What do you think for this game, the New York Jets?
This one was a little tricky. I also typically side with you on the bigger spreads unless it's a team I absolutely hate. But at the same time, Jets also announced that Tyrod's going to be starting. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know. It seems like a weird spot, but I feel like Baltimore's kind of on their path to not only, get back in the playoff picture, but also take over that division. As I'm not too confident in the Steelers, I feel like they might lose a few games down the stretch. I feel like this is going to be a blowout win for the Ravens, taking them minus 13.5.
So it's not a proper Dubcast stream if I'm not taking one of the big spreads. I'm going to take a stab with the Jets plus 13.5. If we look at Justin Fields as a passer, he does nothing.
Terrible.
Yeah. And I think Garrett came back last week. A.D. Mitchell, maybe he can be something. John Mechie, like they have different options there, like Mason Taylor, their first, second or third round pick. Breece Hall wants to get involved. I do like the Ravens in their comeback arc, but they don't need to finish off these games like flawlessly. And I think this could tend to be a low scoring. I don't know. I like Lamar, but they had a week last week like that against the Browns, given that was divisional and all that other crazy crap going on. But it's just too many points for me with this Ravens team right now, especially since they've had some blowouts. It feels like they need to kind of hit, not a patch in the road, but like win this game comfortably to like 10 points. I think 13.5 is too much for this one with a new quarterback and kind of a improved passing game, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with the Jets. When I've gone with the Jets, it hasn't really let me down, so I'm not worried about taking them. I think they're actually kind of a good team to cover big spreads, which is crazy to say, I know, but they've kind of been good against the spread. I'm going to look up their number after this. But Rat, what do you think? You have a tie to break here?
The Ravens are going to win this game. So I'll just take the Ravens minus 13.5. But this game also contains my rat of the week, which is the over-under of 44.5. This morning, within a span of maybe 18 seconds, I said, oh, Jets-Ravens. I really like that under. And I saw it was 44.5. And I said, what? And now I'll be taking the over and probably the over 50 and Lamar's over and every over.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. The Ravens are going to win. That is a big, tricky line.
So the Jets, I'm looking at right now, are the 9th best team against the spread this season at 5-4-1.
But they started out 0-7.
I know it's like, but you wouldn't think that they would be with their record. Like when you go to the Titans, they're one of the worst teams. So they're not actually terrible. I think this side might be correct. I don't know. I think the Jets are a good cover team at points, but so you're going with the Ravens officially minus 13.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
All right.
I like the Ravens.
Keep it moving. No spread bigger than 6 points so far is our lowest one. Continuing on here, we have a very weird game where I mentioned before in the DOUF segment, this game has all sorts of red tape on it where Joe Burrow might be coming back. If he doesn't, Joe Flacco is hurt, and that leaves Jake Browning to start. So it's kind of like a choose-your-own adventure on who you think is going to start this game. And I don't really like it at all because I think if it was Burrow, the Bengals would cover. I do think it's early, though. They were saying that Thanksgiving was the target. So if it's Flacco or Browning, I'll go with the Patriots. And I feel like I've picked the Patriots every time in the past couple of weeks, and they haven't let me down, besides the Falcons almost lost there. But Pats have been pretty good against the spread as well. I wish this was 6.5. It'd be a massive hammer, about 7.5. They've handled business against superior competition. In Cincinnati might be a little bit difficult just because you're on the road. I don't know, but Cincinnati hasn't really – I don't know. No Jamar either, so it's going to be tough sledding for the Bengals no matter what. I'm going to take the Pats plus minus 7.5. Rat, we go to you.
Yeah, I think that's an easy pick. Joe Burrow, I don't think it really matters what the quarterback is. This is the worst. This is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life. I think, like, even the Patriots –
Against MVP May, too.
Like, I think you got to just take the Patriots. Something happens, whatever.
You mean May VP?
I'm sorry, is that the terminology?
Yeah, May VP.
All right.
Sorry, keep going, Rat. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was done. Patriots plus 7.5. It's just too easy of a pick.
Minus 7.5, you mean?
If I wasn't a Patriots fan, I would be questioning this game, but I think it's
I feel the same way, but
so hard to bet on the Bengals in this spot. I think that's like one of the hardest things to do.
that means I'm easily cover, but
I'm siding with the Rat. Doesn't matter the quarterback. Even if Burrow is going to start, which I don't think is going to happen. I highly doubt it. Based on what you said, the original target date was Thanksgiving. Even that was relatively questionable. I know he's been back at practice, but I don't know. I like this New England team. Every time I take them on the spread, they end up winning. At least for the majority, if not all the games this year. I don't know what I took in their 2 losses. I would assume the Pats, but 7.5 seems a little short. Obviously, even with Burrow back, coming off of an extended injury without his number 1 wide receiver, I feel, and Cam mentioned, this is one of the worst defenses, or this is probably the worst defense in football right now. Never mind, like one of the worst you've ever seen in a National Football League game. So I like this, even though they're on the road. Hopefully you get Booty and Ramondre back too to get the offense at full health. Maybe kind of a get back spot for both of them, trying to get a little confidence moving into the back half of the year, making their playoff push. So I'm gonna go with New England here minus a 7.5.
All right, good rod on the hometown team there. The Pats are 7-3-1 at the spread, so not a bad team to put your money on. Interesting game. We talked about this one in the DOUF segment as well. Tendy's favorite dog of the week right off the rip. Didn't even have to question it at all. It's the Colts coming off of a bye week, heading to a team that is 5-5 in the Kansas City Chiefs. Rat, your turn to start us out here. What do you think for this one? Colts at Chiefs minus 3.5.
This is my schizophrenic gambler pick of the week. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Also, this game, the Patriots game, and the Ravens game, I'm going to just max out. I think I might just max out the alt over for like every single game this week. I think there's so many. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like delusional, but I think this week is just like prime for overs, like huge overs. So I'm going to do that in this game too.
Cam, what are you thinking about this one?
I know that Tendy picked this one in his DOUF, but kind of betting with my heart over my head here. Usually just do that for the Patriots, but I'm going to do it in this spot too because it, coincides with the Patriots' success overall. I'm going with Indy plus a 3.5. Hopefully they win this game outright, and Kansas City's on the outside looking in, even though they are currently when it comes to the playoff picture. But I feel like this game really sets it in if they lose this one. Very tough hill sweating upwards if Kansas City loses this game at home. Colts coming off of a bye week, and even if they don't win, I feel like 3.5, we kind of talked about it, this Chiefs team isn't notoriously known for winning against the spread, especially when it's over 3 points. I know we kind of use 3-point denominator as you pick a team to win, but 3.5 seems like a little too much. I like the Colts to win outright, never mind plus the 3.5. So I'm going to go with Daniel Jones and what would be the offensive player of the year and Jonathan Taylor here, plus 3.5.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I think this is Chiefs minus 3.5. Something I do take issue with your statement of them. Last year, they were that team that would always win little games, but let's not forget they beat the Lions by 2 scores. They beat the Ravens by a lot of points. I don't know. I think when they win, especially at home. Like I was kind of alluding to earlier, their home away ratio is very different. There are different teams at home and away. We know how much their home advantage is, and I think this is a spot where, being as though we've witnessed the dynasty ourselves, every week that somebody's like the dynasty's over, this is it. What would happen? The Pats would come out and win by 1 million. I think the Chiefs come out here and win by like 14 to 17 points. And not to mention, this is the team that I've been fading a lot, the Colts. Really, I've only picked them like against the Titans. I don't think they're for real at all. I'm still waiting to see it. Something for my eyes to be like, you know what, they're a good team. I haven't seen that. They haven't played that next level of competition as well as I'd like to see. Who have the Colts beat? The Chargers?
No, I don't. I'm not disagreeing.
There's
no need to jump off a bridge.
No, well, Rat got pissed. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I can read the resume like I do every week, and it's not impressive.
What do you mean?
He's been very anti-Colts. Yeah,
I do watch.
I don't. But why are you anti-Colts? You can just say they're a good team who's maybe
because it's Daniel Jones. That's the only reason why. It's because of Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
that's
so I'm never going to trust Daniel Jones, and also I don't think they're. I mean, I look at their schedule and I don't see it like a really impressive wins in my opinion. I think their schedule is like as easy, maybe even easier right now.
Is this something that not enough people are talking about? The Colts have an easy schedule.
Yeah, I don't know why we get it when it's the same thing. I mean, Dolphins, Broncos, which I'm always going to say, but we need to remember how fugazi-ass that win was against the Broncos.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I
It's
talked about
crazy.
that ad nauseum. Yeah.
Actually, now that you mention it, you're kind of right. They beat the
I'm just
Dolphins,
saying, man.
Broncos, Titans, lost to the Rams, beat the Raiders, Cardinals, Chargers, Titans, lost to the Steelers, beat the Falcons. Barely.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Needed overtime, beat the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons have been a tough out, but
They don't have as many good wins as the Patriots. How is no
no,
one
I
talking?
agree. And no one's talking about it.
Well, because the Pats are more nationally known. That's the only reason why the national media talks about it. No one really gives a fuck about in the national media space about the Colts.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm not impressed, and I think Arrowhead's a tough place to play, especially with the Chiefs being on like almost have to win out mode if they want to do something. So I think the Chiefs get this done, and I don't think the 3.5 is that big of a number when both the Colts losses this season are by 7 points. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, hopefully by a touchdown at least, and I think they get right back on track. And I think we're here talking next week about how we overestimated that they're done. But because that happens every time with the Patriots, or did happen every time with the Patriots and Brady. Now we go to the NFC North. It is the Vikings and the Packers. Packers once again getting a favorable spread, 6.5. Cam, you've been out on JJ McCarthy mostly. What do you think about this one? Packers, tough team to predict at home, -6.5 here.
Yeah. For your sake, and also just my mindset, my initial thoughts were Green Bay -6.5. But then after reconsideration, divisional matchup, I know they're at home, but also I feel like this is a get-right spot for Minnesota, even though JJ hasn't really proven himself as the quarterback that can do that, other than that Broncos, or who they play, the Bears? Yeah, sorry, the Bears game earlier on in the year. Green Bay, like we've talked about, likes to play their competition. I can see this being closer than most people think. My initial thought was Green Bay, but I like Minnesota here +6.5. I just think they keep within a touchdown game.
Yeah, I basically went through the exact same thing you did, but I added in the fact that I was like 6.5 seems too big. Like I just think that's too big of a spread for this Packers team. They haven't really proven to me that they're gonna even when they do win games, it's by a late touchdown or something. Besides their first.
So what? Sorry to interrupt, but Cam, you said earlier Josh Jacobs was maybe going to play in this game.
He's like 90% not going to play.
Okay.
He's probably
that's another factor for me too. I mean, I know it's a little late, but without Josh Jacobs, I think this offense is going to be obviously much more pass heavy. And after losing Tucker Kraft, arguably probably the most consistent weapon that they've had on offense this year. I don't know. It seems like more of a reason to bet on Minnesota. But at the same time, I feel like Green Bay's, much more talented, especially at the quarterback position, in order to win this game. But yeah, I'll let you continue, Doug.
Let's not forget that 2 weeks ago, this Vikings team beat the Lions. So
yeah.
I think I kind of mentioned this on a prior week podcast that the Vikings have kind of just been up and down all season. And I think this could be another up where they've lost 2 in a row. Are you drinking mouthwash, Cam?
No, it's a 4-1 pregame. Thanks to our sponsor.
Nice. Matching with the jersey.
Damn, dude. Can the sponsor send me some of that? Looks good.
Yeah, no. The sponsor will hook you up. I'll reach out to our main guy over there.
That looks like that shit we drank at Brett's that one time.
It might have been, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think it was 4 Loco. But yeah, I'm going with the Vikings. I think 6.5 is too many points for this Packers team, and I think the Vikings divisional matchup, these teams are always play it close. I'm going to go with JJ to show a flash in the pan again. I don't know if they win this game outright. I think the Packers probably win, but I don't think they win by more than 6.5.
Team ride, Cam?
Negative. I think JJ McCarthy is going to get sacked 11 times.
That's fine.
I think the Packers are going to win by 21.
Whoa.
Okay.
The more you guys talked, I didn't really have that much of an opinion on this game. The more you guys talked, the more I was like, oh, the Packers are going to kill them. It just makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, we don't know ball apparently, Dub. We just have a game
90-73-1, but I think I don't know. I think you guys are a little bit off this week. This is a tough week, I will say. All the picks have been tough so far.
It's just because the spreads are so fucking large. That's the main reason. But
I think what's helping
At least
is that
early on so
I
far.
see narratives. I don't know. I just think this is a game the Vikings will cover, but I don't know.
Like legit, after all the games that we've gone through 7. This is the third lowest spread, and it's almost a touchdown, which is kind of crazy.
There's some lopsided games for sure. I mean, I feel like these are the weeks where Brad might be right. It might just be a chaos week. I don't know, which would kind of go against the Packers covering. But there are weeks where you just can't see the board and you don't know it before it's too late. Hoping that's not a week that happens to any of us.
Thank you.
Keep calm. I agree.
Next one, team. The Steelers and the Bears do battle. Weird matchup where we don't really know what's going on with the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. I'm going to pick the Bears, and I don't know. I've been fading them, and it's not worked, so I'm going to go with them, and they'll probably just lose outright to the Steelers. Steelers are kind of a tough team to predict. Both these teams are tough to predict, and this matchup's just a weird one. But I'm going to choose my adventure of Mason Rudolph starting this game. I think that bodes well for the Bears. If not, they're at home, and the Steelers did just have a big win last week over the Bengals, so it could be a letdown spot, and the Bears just seemingly win all these games out of their ass. 2.5 points is enough for me to say, you know what, we'll go with the Bears this week. Rat, you were kind of disagreeing with that. You taking the Steelers?
I don't disagree with you what you said. I'm just looking at this line. The Bears are at home. I don't understand this at all.
Yeah.
I think both of these teams are like such frauds, and like it's all so dug in, and like they're that 2.5 line is just, it sounds.
Oh, I know what it is. It's Aaron Rodgers versus the Bears, potentially.
You're being begged to take the Steelers. Oh, is he playing? Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
I don't know. That's I have to imagine.
Yeah, he's up in the air. So the rumors he has a fractured left wrist. So obviously off throwing hand, but
yeah, he has a small fracture in his wrist, which I got my wrist fractured.
what did I just fucking say?
I'm saying to reiterate a point, and I was out for like 6 weeks at least.
Well, you're not an NFL quarterback that won MVP twice.
I'm just gonna take the Steelers. The Bears, if you look at their past like 6 wins, probably 5 of them have been by 2 or less. So maybe the Bears win this game. But if Rodgers plays, you have to take the Steelers. And also, like, they're both frauds. This line's fraudulent. So I'm gonna take the Steelers.
I'm kind of leaning the exact opposite way of Cam. I honestly kind of hope Aaron Rodgers plays a little bit banged up, and I feel like this is kind of the Bears get right spot overall over the course of Aaron Rodgers' career. It's a completely different team. Steelers came off of a kind of lopsided victory last week, and definition of, up and down team. So I feel like it's no matter who if Mason Rudolph plays and you get this line at 2.5, that's perfect. But either quarterback that plays, I feel like Chicago's going to want to come up on top, especially at home. And then you start to enter the conversation of, is Chicago really a factor in the NFC? Which I don't think they are, but just how the schedule lines up, they play the Steelers at home. Probably going to be shitty weather in Chicago, middle of November. So even if Aaron Rodgers banged up or you have Mason Rudolph there, I think Chicago pulls us one out. Give me Chicago -2.5.
Will Howard season?
That could be. I would love that. See, if Will Howard plays, then I might take the Steelers. But
I have him in Dynasty. I should have put him on my taxi squad. But yeah, I'm getting mixed reports on Rodgers. ESPN is saying his playing status will be a safety thing, which should make me think that he's not playing. NBC Sports is saying they worked out a pair of quarterbacks, should make me think he's not playing. New York Post says he's pushing to play. And then Steelers Depot says he could start on Sunday with a short leash. So it's like, this is a hard one to predict. Obviously, we're live on Wednesday, but the picks are set in stone.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll head into, that's kind of modern. I think I just described modern media. It's like, choose your lane. Who do you believe? Any of these things could be
definitely right. New York Post. Yeah, they're really good with their reports.
Jags Cardinals. This is a weird game. Cardinals, seemingly a Vegas. What's the word I'm looking for? Charm. I don't. They like this Cardinals team. They always give them short spreads. So we'll start with you, Rat. The Jags at the Cardinals -3. What are you thinking here?
I don't know. I think Jacoby Brissett kind of impressed me. Jaguars, after winning by 29, probably could be thought of as like the worst team in the league right now, just because they won by 29 and they're the Jaguars. And, like, what are you gonna do? It's like when you're playing roulette and black just came. You're like, well, I guess I got to bet red. It's one of those things, Are you more of a player who sees?
I
Are you
actually
more of a
do
player
understand that analogy, which is kind of making my pick a little bit more concerning.
It's like, are you one of those players who sees two blacks in a row on roulette and then you say, oh, let's ride the black train, boom, take black? Or are you one of the players who see two black and you say red's due?
I will do everything until I hit. So I would not flip. If that gives you a hint on my pick.
Okay. Well, I know you're taking the Jags, but I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take I think these teams are both whatever. Again, craziness, who knows? Take the home team. That's where I go with this.
All right. Cam takes a sip of mouthwash before he gives his pick.
I mean, it is my favorite out of the DOUF boy parlay, or whatever we want to call it, the DOUF segment. But I am extremely against the Cards overall. I don't care if they're at home. I don't care if they have Jacoby playing off of a, career or, franchise record-setting game. Jacksonville, after that win against the Chargers, gained a little bit of my respect. Not enough to take them against, one of the AFC powerhouses, but it's a random team in the NFC West, arguably the worst one. I would put like I said, I'd put the Cards up with the Tennessee Titans as two teams that don't belong in this league. So I'm gonna go Jacksonville -3 here. I feel like the line's extremely short. So yeah, give me Trevor Lawrence and the Jags -3.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags. Don't really have much insight into it. I think this line is too little, and I think the Jags are a borderline playoff team. They have a playoff spot right now in the AFC. Cardinals been fucking around all season. They're the only team to lose to the Titans. I don't think they're on the same level as the Titans, but they're definitely the next tier up. They haven't shown me much, and I don't care about 50-something completions when you're down a million the whole game. So I'm going with the Jags to keep it going, but this is one where the Cardinals are always that team that I wouldn't be surprised if they do just randomly cover a game, but it happens to the best of us. So I'm going to go with the Jags -3 on this one. We move ahead to one that we don't have to spend too much time on, two teams at the bottom of the barrel of the league, but is the Shedeur Sanders debut, at least starting, heading to Las Vegas, a team we just saw play on Monday night, or at least some of us on this channel saw play Monday night. And we go to the man who didn't watch the Raiders play. Cam, what do you think about this one? Shedeur in Las Vegas -3.5.
I love Cleveland in this spot. I would put you at quarterback, and I would still have more confidence.
Is that what we're doing every week now? You put me at quarterback?
I think so, yeah. It might be a little bit of a segment, but no, seriously. I mean, this Raiders team in general just looks atrocious, and I don't want to touch them, especially -3.5, like over a field goal, even though they're at home. We talk about Vegas not being like a true road home or true home field advantage because, it's just a destination. And I don't know if people from Cleveland go to Vegas, but I don't know.
Browns fans travel for sure.
They definitely do. And you're out in Cleveland, you have nothing to do. Vegas would be like a hype place to go.
I was more talking about like if they could afford it, but sorry for the Cleveland listeners out there.
Everyone can afford Vegas.
Every town has an upper class.
Yeah. But either way, whether it's Shedeur or Gabriel, I know Gabriel's hurt, or who's their backup behind Shedeur? Do we know who that would be?
I'll look into that for you. I think Deshaun.
That's fine. I mean, it was more just a point that I'm proving, but I like Cleveland here plus a 3.5. Don't have any faith in Geno, overaged, and then also Pete Carroll, both people that are just kind of, whistling into existence when it comes to the NFL and their spotlight. So give me Cleveland here plus the points.
Yeah, I just realized the Raiders' whole problem this season has been the offensive line, and you have Myles Garrett who got 5 sacks against the Patriots. It's not
4 sacks last week.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy day at the office for Geno Smith, who's been especially slow moving in the pocket. I think it's been a weird trend for me where Vegas gets these favorable lines. Raiders, I mentioned darling was the word I was looking for the Cardinals on the last pick, but I think Vegas is like the hometown team, and they get a weird spread every week where I think this should be a 2.5 or a 3 spot. I think 3.5 is too much with the hook. Low scoring game. I think somebody took this game on the under Don't want to waste too much time in it, but I think it's going to be a rock fight, low-scoring game. I'm going to go with the team that has 3.5 points with them, the Browns. Rat finishes out here.
I don't know if I can make a pick. These teams are so bad. Both these teams are so bad. I think Shador might be fun. He might be good.
Also, Shador, a little bit of a mentee to Tom Brady. Tom Brady, owner of the Raiders, maybe wants to show out in front of him.
It's true. It could be like a show off our hero game, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the home team again because I'm confused and don't know what to do. So give me the home team. Sorry. When you said Myles Garrett, I genuinely was like, I can't take the home team. But I'm not even going to say the name of the team. I'm just going to keep calling them the home team. We're going to go with the home team today.
What was I going to say? I forget. We'll move on. Divisional matchup. NFC East, Eagles and Cowboys. Cam looks disturbed.
I just don't understand the line in this, unless I completely read it wrong. But Philly's only favored by 3, right? Am I crazy?
That's correct. So I'll start us out. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yep, me too.
Rat line. One you have to take the dog in this fight. It makes no sense. Eagles, I think, have been asking to lose, which is like could be an easy spot for the Cowboys to fuck them up and then get embarrassed by the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That's actually something I do foresee happening now. The Cowboys get this huge, massive win over the Eagles. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Cowboys are back!" And then just to lose by like 15 to the Chiefs on Thanksgiving in front of everybody. But I mean, this Cowboys team is kind of rebuilding a little bit, not like rebuilding their resume. I think they are able to get this win over the Eagles, who most people see as, I don't know, this top tier NFC team, which they are. They're probably the second or first best team in the NFC, but every dog has its day. I think the Cowboys pull this one out. Might take a money line. I did love the 3.5. I think this one came down even 3.5. We'll go with the Cowboys plus 3 is kind of just my biggest fuck it pick of the week. Rat?
I agree. I think these teams just play good, fun games, and I think the Cowboys at home and they're humming right now. And I think the Cowboys are just going to score more than 20 points every game. I think their offense is actually very good, and they're going to score a lot of points every game. And I think the Eagles will need to catch up, which I think they will, which is why I'm also going to take the over. But Cam, let's hear you. Let's hear you spank us here.
No, I mean, I kind of let off the recap of Week 11, hyping up the Eagles defense, and I don't think Dallas has played a defense like the Eagles. And it's also a divisional matchup, usually relatively low-scoring game in this one, which might favor the Cowboys if they can get one more score. But at the same time, I also mentioned the Eagles get blessed with these low spreads, and I continue to take the Eagles, and they've been pretty profitable for me. So I'm going to continue to take the defending Super Bowl champions, even though they're on the road in the divisional matchup. It's also not a weird primetime game. It's in the middle of the day. I know it's 4:25. Yeah, so we're probably going to get Tom. So, I mean, that still doesn't really impact me too much. Philly minus 3, I just feel like this Dallas roster can't really compete with this Philly roster when it comes down to it. And then especially when you look at the I also look at the receiving core and CD out, and obviously you have Pickens, who we talked about a little bit in the recap.
He's out again?
I believe so, yeah. But then even if he is coming back, he's coming off his first week of an injury. Meanwhile, in Philly, you have A.J. Brown, Devontae, and then Saquon in the backfield. Jalen Hurts can obviously run the ball. I just feel like their offense is just waiting to click, and I feel like they're trying to save it for a time later on in the season to pretty much show everybody that they are the same, not the same team, but they are a Super Bowl contending team like they are. So I'm going with Philly here minus 3. I feel like that's honestly my favorite pick of the week. So surprised that I'm going 1-on-2 on that.
Yeah, I mean, you ran into some people.
Oh no.
Yeah, you haven't been able to tell by now. I really just Vegas runs my brain.
Yeah.
Like I have my thoughts, and then whatever my thoughts are.
All right. Well, W's out. I'll kind of take over as relatively the host. I mean, I think we kind of mention whatever we want for the Philly and Dallas game. So, Rat, I think the next game on the docket is Atlanta and New Orleans. Maybe not as entertaining as what the game was that we were just talking about. But do you have any thoughts on what you're going to go with between these two NFC South divisional rivals?
Nope. I hate this game, and I'm not going to watch it. It's a classic. I think you say this all the time. Worst division in football.
Yep.
Who would want to watch this? This is sad. I'll take the Falcons. Kirk Cousins.
All right.
Kirk as well.
So yeah, the spread's 1.5. So in favor of the Saints, which
Right.
if you're taking the Falcons, I assume you're just taking a money line. But also, I mean, they're underdogs, so why wouldn't you just take a money line? I'm in the same boat with you. I feel like the wrong team's favored in this matchup. Kind of crazy to me how they think that New Orleans is a better team, even though they're at home. Divisional matchup. Kirk Cousins, I feel like gets a lot of hate for. I know he didn't play well last year, but he's also. I mean, they paid him for a reason. Like I feel like relatively consistent. Maybe not in Atlanta, but I have a lot more trust in him as opposed to the rookie coming off of what his second start, I think, maybe second or third. So I'm going with the Falcons here. I also had them in my, or I was thinking about them in my under in the DOUF, but somebody else took that. So that's another play if somebody else would like that. I think we got the host back online too. So we got Rat and I also taking Atlanta plus the 1.5 in the Falcons versus Saints matchup late on 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah. You
Oh,
think? You think your
I forgot
internet
he
has
has to
been?
put his fucking headphones in.
No. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Douglas MacArthur?
You think you have internet problem solved, and then you move out, and then it happens all over
We can't hear you.
again.
Jesus, what a! Thank God we're on Instagram Live. Sorry for the YouTube.
All right. Well, Cam, let's just move on to the next game, I guess. Well, Doug's
All right.
trying to figure out his thing.
Yeah, we can get his
Hello?
recap whenever he comes back. So Sunday night, Tampa and the Rams.
Wait, can you actually not hear him?
I can't. Can you?
Oh yeah, I can hear him. Yeah, I thought you were just.
Hello?
No, I actually can't hear
I can
Dubby.
hear him. He just said hello.
Cam, lock in.
Can you hear him now? Still?
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave and then I'll hop back on. Let Dubby
Dub,
take
what
over.
do you have in this game? What do you have in this game, Dub?
I got the Falcons plus 1.5. I think the Saints are terrible, even though they did, and they also won last week. The last week they played, when we had that hype guy. I did tell the boys about the hype guy in Buffalo Wild Wings, the Saints guy. Remember he came up to us and was like,
the guy who just sat in Buffalo Wild Wings at like 3 different tables and watched the Saints game, and then he was like, "You guys got a good quarterback this year," and we were like, "Thank you."
Yeah, he gave us all a high five. I think that'll be the highlight.
Crazy.
I think that'll be the highlight of the season for the Falcons. I mean, the Saints, unfortunately, I think this is a Falcons spot where Kirk comes in and does something to prove that his next spot won't be with the Falcons and he's going to try and win this game. I don't know. I did want to mention that the 4 o'clock slate is actually very horrible, with the best game being Eagles Cowboys, and then we have Jags, Cardinals, Falcons, Saints, and Browns Raiders. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the Eagles Cowboys game has to be close. I think you can't have all these games happening, just complete dog shit games. All 4 games are horrible, and then not all 4. 3 of the games are horrible, and then Eagles Cowboys has to be a good game where it's exciting. It has.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll start with the Sunday Night Football game, Bucks Rams. I'm trying to remember. It doesn't matter the order anymore. We'll start with you, Rat, while I switch from phone to computer, back to computer because my internet came back. So Bucks at the Rams.
Is that like a Ray Allen joke?
No. No.
What a
I know you're
professional
trying to say
podcast
and
that
no,
we got going
and
on.
no. So I'll be back in a second, but Rat, your thoughts on Bucks Rams?
It's gone again. I think it will be a fun game. I'm gonna take the Bucks. I think the Bucks will keep it close at the end, no matter what. I think they kind of always do that. The past 2 weeks, it's been like they've lost by a bit, but they still kept it close. So I'm just gonna take the Bucks because it's too many points for the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree with you. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been notorious Bucks supporters, I feel like, especially against the spread. You've seen this several weeks in a row, I feel like. I know the Bills didn't really pan out, but we kind of talked about it in the previous recap segment. Tampa Bay was in that game, and I think Rat mentioned that they were actually leading the fourth quarter. Also, still a banged up roster, but they still find a way with Baker to be able to be competitive within these games. So I think this is kind of a bounce back spot, even though it's against one of the tougher teams in the NFC in general. I just feel like 6.5 is too much. I feel like Baker keeps it within a touchdown. Give me Tampa plus 6.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, I gave this as my dog, I believe, for the DOUF. So I'm with you guys between the Bucks and the Rams. I think the Rams are too high right now. I think the Bucks need to win, so it's just kind of a perfect spot for the Bucks to cover the spread. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Bucks win this game outright, but for the sake of the pot, I'll go spread. Bucks double.
W, also, I probably missed it. Did you pick the Atlanta-New Orleans game or no?
Yeah, I picked Falcons.
Okay, so that was a team ride on that. Okay.
Yep. All right, so we got a couple comments. No way this shit's still going. Guys, in between when we started, I took the train home and ate dinner and read 30 pages of civil procedure. We've just been talking ball this whole time. All right, last one.
Who's that? Who was that? Was that the Giants douchebag?
No, it's my sister, man.
She's trying to.
Okay, the producer of the show. Sorry, I didn't realize it was Allie. I'm sorry, Allie.
All right. Yeah, Greg hasn't been with us. He's been kind of lacking.
He's been a fake fucking fan, is what he's been.
We haven't had. I think Allie's been our only real fan for like the past couple weeks. We've been lacking some support, but it's okay. Maybe the in-person stream will revitalize to tease next week. But Panthers, 49ers, end us out on Monday night. Cam, we'll start with you here. What do you think?
I think this is perfect for a San Francisco blowout win. I feel like Carolina's riding too high off of the win last week. I know we've talked about several teams being extremely up and down. I feel like San Fran at home, I think they win by at least a touchdown, if not more. If I end up pushing on this, that's on me. But I'm going to take Brock Purdy and especially the more explosive offense that we've seen last week over the Panthers -7 here.
I'm rolling the opposite way. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think prime time. Damn. Right with the look of disgust. No, I just don't see this game being
prime. You say prime time? Prime time Panthers? What does that mean?
No, it's a prime time game, so it's always close for the ratings.
Is it?
So, like usually.
Like this Monday night was?
They tried, but the Raiders couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't think this game's gonna be that bad. I don't see this game getting out of hand. I think the 49ers had that out of hand game. I think the Panthers are a team they're low scoring. They keep it close. I could see like a 23-17, 23-20 win for the 49ers. So I'm going to go with the Panthers to cover 7 points. I think that's a little bit too wide for my liking. If it was 6.5, I might go the other way. But 7, I'm taking the Panthers. Rat, finish this out here. You kind of
maybe there's a problem with me, but I just see the Panthers. I see the 49ers. And the 49ers going to kill them. They are still named the Panthers. So I can't take them.
Actually, they changed their team name. Would that change your pick?
All right. So do we do Focus 5 now?
You're going with the 49ers
-7.
Okay.
At home.
We do have a comment. Allie says, yeah, for real, even if I'm not watching live, I always watch within 24 hours. We need real supporters like this. I don't know where all our fans went. Where's Daryl? Anyways, we will go to the Focus 5. So I have to make Rat a banner because I had to delete it during one of the streams. Rat, you did make a Focus 5 with us before. You had some lofty picks, to say the least. Some high odds there, maybe trying to chase some dragons. But you're back again, and your slate is almost near clean because it is -0.6 units on the year.
That's pretty good. I don't know what
Yeah.
more
So
gamblers
you
could really ask for.
basically drew even on your first Focus 5. So now you're back with us. Unfortunately, as the only one on this stream right now who has a negative record, you do have a better Focus 5 than Mikey. But give us your Focus 5 picks for this week of NFL action.
I have this one, and I don't like it at all. Actually, at all.
All right, so give it to the people to win some money.
I'm gonna get rid of this one because it's not gonna win people money. I'm gonna go Pats alt over 34.5 points plus 200. I think the Bengals defense is horrible, and Drake May will just drive down the field 5 times and get 5 touchdowns at least.
I don't mind that one.
Chiefs Colts alt over 63.5 at plus 346. The Cowboys money line parlayed with the over 47.5 at plus 370. Bucks alt over 23.5 points at plus 140. And that's only 4 because I crossed one out. I'm gonna take also. Shoot, I have to clear all the legs. Does anyone have a sports book up? I'm gonna take the Texans money line, parlay that with the under 2.
I can pull that up for you. Just under on the game, or are you taking one of those exotic?
No, just the game under. Texans,
So okay.
Texans money line and the under.
Texans money line under 43.5 as of right now gives you plus 490 on the odds right there.
I think if you parlay all of those picks together, you get like plus 60,000.
That's not on the show. That's not on the show.
If you want a lottery ticket, if we want to add a 0.1 units, you can do that too.
Yeah, maybe you can come back next year with the lottery ticket segment.
Okay.
We'll just rip off PMT and do a lottery. We have a Focus 5 from Allie, so viewers are making a thing here. Brad, this might be something that interests you and also Cam. Focus 5 is taking Michigan's spread of 12.5 for a game against Ohio State. That game isn't until a week from Saturday, but it's the game on everyone's mind. So I'm sure you guys will both be backing Michigan in that game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Michigan money line.
This is Allie. Yeah, it should be money line. Correct answer, actually, Allie. And this is her trying to reverse jinx it.
Yeah, I respect it. The game's not even happening until 10 days from now. I'm going to Ohio State. I don't care. I'll keep betting it. All right. Well, Cam, we'll go to you. Big couple weeks out of you. You've been slowly gaining money, picking up the pace, and now you're at plus 7 units. What are you going to have to make the viewers some money this week? And do you need odds on it?
I'm going to need odds on 2 of them. But the first one I do not. We're going to start with our Thursday night parlay. Kind of backing into the Bills. Whenever it comes to parlays, I don't like to touch spreads. I just do money lines. So we're going to do the Bills money line to win on Thursday night outright. And I think Josh Allen continues his touchdown scoring on the ground with James Cook to also score. I don't feel like they have enough inside the red zone to have Josh Allen the confidence to throw the ball to any of his weapons on the outside. So all 3 of those combined is plus 338. Also, if you use the blue, pretty sure you get like a 30% profit boost, which would be pretty nice there. But that's the first of the Focus 5. Second, we're going to do the 1 o'clock. It's kind of like the favorite parlay, I guess if you want to put a label on it. We're going to do Detroit, Seattle, Baltimore, and New England. So that's minus 122. And I know I'm not a huge minus when it comes to parlay bets, but this is probably my favorite bet of the entire weekend. I just can't see any of these teams losing. So minus 122. Maybe those lines come down a little bit and get us pretty much even money. Stop. And then, so I know I've been flirting with this idea. This is the third leg is going to be New England outright money line and Drake 2+ passing. I'm not going to add an additional touchdown scorer because I know it's kind of bit me in the ass in the past couple of weeks. That one I might need odds on, Dub, if you have that. If not, I can provide that to you later on after the episode.
Say it again.
What's the bets?
Just New England and Drake 2+ passing touchdowns.
Spread or money line?
Spread or money line, Cam?
Spread.
I'm seeing plus 162.
Okay.
At minus
All right.
7.5 for the Pats.
Yep. So I'm just writing that down. All right, cool. And then the fourth leg is going to be more the afternoon / I kind of like to call it the underdog / undervalued parlay, I guess you want to call it that. Just teams that I think are, short spreads, as opposed to that second leg that I had. So this one's going to be the Colts money line. And then we got Chicago money line, Jacksonville money line, and Philly money line. That's at plus 1026. So obviously you're kind of banging on the Colts to upset the Chiefs on the road, but you also have short favorites that I feel like are all at home. The Jags are on the road, but against the Cardinals, like I said, CFL team. I like that bet at plus 1026. The main game to watch in that is the Colts versus the Chiefs. But to wrap it up, we're going to do an afternoon, a little Sunday parlay. It's going to be the same one that I didn't place a bet on that ended up hitting last week. But I still feel pretty confident in this bet right here. So we're going to do the Rams money line, Stafford 2+ tutties passing. And then we're also going to do the same thing, but with the 49ers and Purdy to throw 2 or more touchdowns.
So why did you say Sunday afternoon when they're both prime time?
True. Sorry. Sunday and Monday. We'll do a primetime special. Why not? Yeah. So I don't know what the odds are on that, especially after it hit last week. But I like that one as well. I wish it was Mac Jones as opposed to Purdy 2+, but still, I like the odds on that one. Like I said, my favorite of the Focus 5 is going to be that Sunday afternoon one at plus 1026. But Dub, you got the odds on that?
We do.
Last one?
So 49ers money line, Rams money line, Stafford 2+, Brock Purdy 2+ passing is a whopping plus 215. So odds did come down on that one. Well, yeah. I think the competition is a little bit lesser this week. That's why I win the money lines. It's a little bit less value, but not a bad bet, I don't think. All right. And we will wrap it up with my Focus 5. So I was up big, but I'm slowly slipping. I'm only hitting like one parlay per week, so I need to hit at least 1 or 2 to make some money. Don't worry, I got y'all this week. Starting out, we have the easy 1 p.m. moneyline parlay. We'll go with the Chiefs to beat the Colts. We'll go with the Packers to beat whoever they're playing, the Vikings. We'll go with the Bears to beat the Steelers. Those 3 together, plus 247. We have a little bit of an expensive odds parlay here, 3 touchdown scores in the 1 p.m. window. And my tendency to not take guys who scored last week. So somebody who didn't score last week, JSN. Obviously, they're going to have a big game against the Titans. I think that's a lock. Rashee Rice, I think in my narrative with the Chiefs winning, he hasn't scored in a while. I think he gets one on the board as well this week. And the last one is somebody I've had an on and off relationship with all year, Roma Dunze, but he's been a pretty consistent touchdown scorer. So we'll take those 2 together. All 3 of those combined is plus 950. So if you use the green, use your little touchdown boost parlay on that one, probably gets you up over plus 1,000. I have a 4 p.m. parlay. So this was the one I did hit last week. Just picked one thing in every game. So we're going to go with the Jags money line over the Cardinals. We're going to go with the Raiders, tease them up to plus 3.5. And then we'll go with the Cowboys plus 10.5 against the Eagles and the Falcons plus 7.5 against the Saints. So mostly teasers, and then the Jags money line. All 4 of those together plus 247. What do you have to say, Rat?
You teased them. Okay.
Yeah. And then just like Cam, I have 2 primetime parlays, 2 touchdown scores for each game. So it's Sunday Night Football. Someone who didn't score last week, Puka Nacua, and someone else who didn't score last week, Emeka Egbuka. Both of those 2 together plus 325. Last one, set it and forget it. This is my least odds parlay just because CMC we're taking to score a touchdown. He's like minus 340, which is crazy odds. We'll take him with Rico for the Panthers. Those 2 together plus 138. So plus sign there to wrap it up. And that's it for the NFL of the week. We'll transition to NCAA week 13, which we do have a comment from Allie. She says there's a McGann curse now that has flipped into Ohio State's favor. Our cousin is a freshman at Michigan. I don't think this helps.
This is grasping right now. She just tried to flip a curse without any evidence.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little concerned now. I was pretty certain that Ohio State would win the game this year, but now I don't know. This might be too many odds stacked against our favor. All right, so light week for us, Cam, for NCAA.
Yeah.
Week 13, we got 2 ranked matchups. One that's not really even that interesting. We'll start there. Missouri at OU, Oklahoma -7.5. What do you think?
This one I want to pick Mizzou, but I believe the quarterback's still hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe not. I'll look it up, but I doubt he's come back. I think he's out for this.
I believe he's out this week, and it's kind of tough when you have Mateer coming back after a couple of solid wins, obviously against Tennessee, and then the Alabama win last week, which was brutal for me personally. But I'm gonna continue or maybe flip trains on this one and go Oklahoma with John Mateer -7.5. Don't feel like Mizzou has enough to keep it within a 1 touchdown game.
Yeah, it's looking like Bo Pribula is not going to be playing this week. He did practice a little bit, so there is a chance, but we saw even what Mateer looked like when he came back early. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
Going OU -7.5. And then the last one to end us out here is USC and Oregon, a former Pac-12 matchup, now a Big Ten matchup. Oregon getting 9.5 at home. What do you think here?
I think Oregon blows them out, honestly. I like the 9.5 line that was set. I think it might be even, worth 16.5 if you want to do alternate spread. But I just can't see this USC team competing with Oregon. I believe it's at Oregon as well for College Game Day going. Yeah, so I just feel like everything's signed or thumbs up for Oregon at this point when it comes to this point of the year. And I feel like I don't know who determines the college football playoff rankings that they come out with, but I feel like Oregon's been so they've been, I feel like, severely underrated in the past couple of weeks since they really started that. So I feel like Dan Lanning is gonna take that into the the whiteboard. And I'm gonna go with Oregon minus the points here. I know we typically take the spreads for these college games. Maybe I don't know what it would be if you just took a money line on both of them, but
probably not great. But
yeah, even if you want to parlay the spreads too, it's not I mean, it's just I am not a spread guy when it comes to doing parlays, but
yeah, I think USC covers. Call me crazy. I don't know.
Really?
No, I think this is like a little bit of an old rivalry game. I don't know. I think this USC team's catching fire at the right time where Oregon's kind of been slipping a little bit. They had that rough game against Iowa. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Not sure if they played last week, but I don't know, man. I think this could be a close game. I hope it's a close game because this week really is not great for college football. But
it's kind of slow.
I think we have got either 1 or 2 weeks left of regular season, and then we're on to bowl games, conference championships, and the playoff. So it's kind of I don't know. I feel like this year college football hasn't been that crazy, but maybe I'm missing something there.
Well, yeah, we got the next couple of weeks to mix things up, especially with the actual poll that comes out on who's going to make the playoff. So,
yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got for the fans for this week in football, basically. Rat, you look like you want to give a closing thought to people.
No closing thought. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for jumping in. We gave you proper notice this time. It's like you had a full fight camp to get ready. So that must have felt good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you're not back, thanks for coming on. But I'm sure we will see you back because we got some fights.
And again, I'd steal Mikey's spot if I go 15-0 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was listening back to the time you were on to get a good screenshot to post in my story. And I was like, if you show up and just go on a perfect week and then never come back, that'd be hype. But then you have the 6 and 8, so I don't know if it'll be that cool if you do it anymore. But
yeah, I wouldn't be that cool anymore.
Yeah, it is what it is. We thank you for jumping in. We thank all the fans who are with us tonight. We thank the replay viewers as well. And we'll see you next week for week 13 and week 12 recap, potentially in person in the works. So those are some of the funnest streams of last year. We'll see what happens. But until then, be easy, y'all.